Oh, no, wait. Nah, I did fuck it up. I forgot to remove the overlay page. Shit. Shit. We nearly had it.
No,
Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to James and Redmond TV. And this is the LFC Talk Show. It is me, your boy Jamez. It is Conroy. It is Nick. And it is Darren, your favourite duo. No longer have we got Journeyman on the page. We are all YouTubers. All the links in the description below. Do you know what? I've actually just remembered. I fucked up Conroy's link. So people type in Conroy Talks in the meantime while I fix the link. But yeah, subscribe to the boys' channel. We're smashing it out. Darren, what are you on?
Hey, mate, that's a smash.
I'm almost on 2 now, 2 ton.
Well, we want 200 by the end of the stream.
We want 200 by the end of the stream.
Yeah. And then Conroy.
No, I'm not about more, guys. I done the intro video. Everyone was amazing with that, but then I've had to take this week and just catch up with stuff. The first video's coming out next week.
Don't worry, you're making us wait. Listen, more people are going to tune in.
No, but I've got to say, the community's been amazing, mate. I got loads of comments. It was brilliant, but I've just not had a chance. So I've arranged it now. So next week, the first one will come out. So I should have something out this weekend, a little preview. So.
No, weightness is greatness, Conroy.
No, but I'm not meant it in that way, Darren. But my work is just this week. I got back on Wednesday and I've just went, oh, here's about 30 emails. Good luck. So it's just been a bit.
Top of the top, Conroy.
It's heavy.
Top of the top, brother.
I feel like it's gone now. The journeyman was our thing, and now we're just normal now.
We're just normal people now in a normal world.
Look at Nate Diaz in the UFC. Many would say he's a journeyman. He's got double-digit losses, but look at him now. He's making dough. Do you know what I mean?
He's making dough. It's coming in now.
We want to get Conroy and Darren to 200 subscribers ASAP. Again, I still need to sort the link for Conroy.
Get on it, folks.
So, but you know what though? I've actually got a new thing as well. We've been improving the LFC Talk Show, people. And we are going to get into topics. We have got a quiz later on that I'm going to explain more when we get there. But get on this. Where the fuck is it? Yes, see the thing at the bottom there. You can subscribe to the boys. There we go. So we smashed it.
Jamez is on it this week. He's very organised.
Oh, mate,
he's wrote an agenda and everything.
I've been planning all
the intro.
The intro? What are people? What do you think of the intro? By the way, shout out to all the people who are in the chat. Shout out to the mods, Danny and all that. Shout out to Shannon as well, their main man. Nah, do you know what though, boys? There's a lot of topics to get into, and again, there's a quiz that I want to do, so I want to make sure that we get all this in the right time. But actually, before we do get into all that, people, I done a video with 888 Sport talking about a certain topic, so make sure that you go and check that out if you haven't already. Here's a little clip.
Chelsea, Rory, your team got a lot of money. You got no striker as well. We know Solo Werner can't finish a sentence. He can't finish anything. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know, blood. Haaland at Chelsea? What do you think?
Haaland feels optimistic. Do you know who I would love? You know, if I could choose any striker, do you know who it's going to be?
Who?
Harry Kane.
Nah, I think there's more chance of Chelsea from EastEnders getting with Harry Kane than him going to your team, bruv. Less of all of that.
Daniel Levy's never going to let that run. Harry Kane's going to get priced out the whole thing. I'm saying they're going to Messi him. They're going to Messi him like what happened last year to Messi. So
listen. If you want to go and see the full video, that is on 888 Sport. We were actually talking about Harry Kane on last week's episode or the week before, so go and check that out. But thank you for joining us though, people. It's been a while since we've done it, and I'm made up, I'm buzzing. Boys, let's get into all the juicy topics to do with the LF to the C then, you know what I mean? We were having a little chat in our group chat earlier, weren't we? Because we got a group chat because we're family like that. And basically, when we were talking in the group chat, a little topic came up that Conroy actually decided to. So Conroy, I'll let you take over from this momentos and explain to the people what the situation was.
What it was just a question. I'm not saying I believe this, but I thought to ask the group that obviously if you look at the Sadio Mane before he was off with COVID. Now I'm not talking about decision making or play with the ball or anything like that, because to be honest, Mane has always been average at decision making, but he's just been performing at such a high level. But I just mean more in his ability, his pace, power, because everyone keeps saying he's lost a yard of pace. But to me, there might be an argument. I'm not sure, guys. I'm not fully decided yet. I just want to get your thoughts on it. If the reason that maybe Mane looks so off it, off the pace of the game, not necessarily decision making, because I think he was always going to have a a poor period at some point. Because even if you look at his Southampton days, at Southampton, he wasn't as consistent as he's been at Liverpool. Not a chance of that. But I just feel like I wanted to get your opinion, because I saw another stream the other day and they mentioned it, and it got me thinking, if maybe that, COVID does affect people in different ways, and maybe that's the reason that he looks like his pace is gone. So maybe it's to say we shouldn't be worried that next season that he maybe his pace is gone, we'll sell him now. I think it might be a case of that will come back, and it's more just his actual play is just off right now. Maybe adding to the fact that because he can't keep up with the game, or he can't beat players the way he used to, because he doesn't feel he's fully 100%. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, guys.
Well, speaking of Mane, sorry lad, it's his birthday tomorrow as well. He's 29, by the way, so happy birthday, Sadio.
To the brother, man. They should go
Happy birthday.
He's my fucking G, lad. He put me on the map. He put me on the map, lad. So I'm gonna be riding up. Listen, even though I'm saying he should be dropped at the minute, right? I'm just saying that for the benefit of Sadio Mane. But you know that, like, if I met him, lad, like, I'd rather meet him than Messi. Like, that's a fact, by the way.
Yeah,
I actually would. Like,
I would.
I
think he's know that.
Absolutely fine, but still, though, if you said right now in the next 5 minutes, who would I rather meet, Mane or Messi?
Mane.
Then, boys, I'm obviously going to go with Mane, no doubt about it. It's the boys' bit. How old is he?
29.
29 tomorrow.
Yeah, let's give a round of applause for Sadio Mane. A second fucking now. Without the man, this channel might not be a thing. Nah, go on, Darren, what was the point you... I
was just going to say, sometimes just Mane this season particularly looks very frustrated, and he's got a lot less goals than he has in previous seasons, but for me, I don't think he's keeping it simple, keeping the basics. He's trying to do too much. You can see he's so frustrated this season. He's having more goals at refs, at players. He's running into players. He's just trying to do too much, I think. And look, it's been a craziest year ever in all our lives outside of football. But for Liverpool and Mane, it's been the most craziest. This sort of stuff you just never would have predicted. You never would have foreseen. You would never write. It's just, at times this season, it's like being a nightmare. But it's a nightmare that you're hoping you wake up from. You're like, no, that's reality.
Oh, I've been waiting for that day for so long. You know, Darren. I've been waiting for it.
But I suppose, look, there's a chance he can score tomorrow. There's a chance he can show some sort of something tomorrow, and there's a chance we can get a goal at Anfield for the first time in 6 Premier League games. So hopefully this time tomorrow night we'll be having beers in celebration and not in a preview mode. So I'll be optimistic. But Mane, it's a good point, Conroy. You could be right about that, because I know COVID. It can affect some people differently.
Yeah, it definitely can. I won't dispute that. I'm just going to throw it out there, though. Let's just also put on the plate, right, the point that we were trying to make a few weeks ago. You can't use... What do you buy? Right, and shout out to Callum, because he was the one who made this point, so I don't want to say it as if I came up with it like the genius that he is. But basically, he came up with the point that what can you use now that in 4 years' time it's going to work to that same potential? Just let me know. There's not... If you use it every single day, like fucking hell, the reason why I was late to this stream is because this laptop decided to just say because I use it all the time, like 24/7. It's always pretty much on because I'm always using it, and it's getting worse, so I need to buy a new one. That's not the point, though. I'm not saying we need to buy a new one.
Off in a tangent.
I'm just basically saying, right, that when it comes to Mane, that's a factor. Now, should it be from what he was to what he is? No. But I actually haven't got a clue. I don't think it's that. I'm not going to lie to you. I think it's a mixture of confidence, being overplayed. Let me know what you think, chap. But, I think it's a mixture of confidence, being overplayed, and essentially just the fact the team's broken. I would not be surprised to see a Mane, even if he is slightly slow. This is what I want to see from Mane, right? I want to see him adapt his game. I want to see him, if he is losing a yard of pace, I want to see what he can do with that, because I feel that's what truly determines some of the best players. Now, I know he's not a finisher like Harry Kane. I know he's not a dribbler like Neymar, but there's still ways he can adapt this game. He's still a physical specimen. That's one reason. Yeah. Even without his pace, the way he's being able to just budge off players and, just say, fuck you. Do you know what I mean, lad? He's chesty, lad, man. He can have it with the best of them. You know what I mean? You put him in the UFC, he's fighting with the heaviest of the lightweights and welterweights, so don't disrespect Mane in that regard. But point being is that I do feel that Mane is... I'm not accepting that he's done, not just because of the emotional attachment, but also that drop-off that soon. I feel like there's external factors. And
I agree, James. I do agree.
You just can't overlook confidence, man. Just can't overlook confidence.
I feel like with Mane, I agree with everything you said in terms of I've never said that Mane he's crap or he's losing his talent or anything like that. It's just overworking. And the thing is, like, he plays non-stop for us. Then he goes and plays for country. Do you know what I mean? And then he comes and then plays and then goes AFCON and then comes. He don't stop. And you're right. Like, anything that you use that much is going to break down. The reason I'm not buying the whole COVID thing is he needs a break anyways. And if he's having any type of, like, he's not feeling 100% in terms of COVID, then he should be sitting down. That's like, he shouldn't. We don't need him that much. We don't, because he's been a shell of himself. And you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't. The only thing is, like Darren said though, he's like most of the players in our team is an enigma, because like he's been so bad, and his decision making, his final third, your conversion rate can't be 15%. It can't be. Like, that is just all.
His decision making's always been average, it's never been amazing.
But then at the same time, you look at the Wolves goal, and his decision making is brilliant. You know what I mean? The way in which he's letting off the ball, like, there you go. So in terms of, like, even coming up to Aston Villa, I don't know whether you drop him, because when you look at it, he's got 8 goals in 7 games against them. So it's like, boy.
I'm not having none of that bullshit.
I wouldn't put him on the bench.
One sec, Conroy. Let me just say that I'm not having none of that bullshit. We played Aston Villa's kids and we beat them about 4-1. That was 1-1 at half time. Before that, we lost 7-2. I'm not going with the narrative. By the way, how many teams have come to Anfield this season and taken their home record? I'm just not going off past games no more. It's a different team. When people say this is the same champions, you're lying, because it's not. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
110%, mate.
So this is what I'm saying, right? I'm saying, drop the fuck out of Mane. Let Jota play. Let Bobby play, because Bobby's been playing better than Mane as well. Let Salah play, because he's just not getting out of the team. Or even let Curtis play. What's Curtis done wrong on the left? If you want to rest Jota, get Curtis a little game, because he can play there as well. And I'm not being funny, right? He's actually got a bit of tenacity. He's got a bit of drive. He's actually got a bit of confidence to be able to offer something to this team. Mane hasn't got none of that. I don't want to see players just because of what they've done. And I love Mane. Let me just clarify it before people think I want him to leave or something, because I don't. What I want, and this is for all the Liverpool squad, is competition. And boys, you'll all agree with me on this, because I know what type of fans we are. You know, we might want slightly things different. We might not agree on every single thing. But competition within any squad is never a bad thing. And someone like Mane, he's not on extortionate wages, so we're not really losing a hell of a lot. And I want to see, because this is one thing I've always respected about Mane, his mentality. And this is why I've brought this comment up, by the way. Obviously, everyone would love Kane, but the second part where he says, let Jota and Mane fight for left wing, what's Jota done wrong in any part of that front three? He's done nada, you know what I mean? So when you talk about Mane, who's actually done nada, you know, when I say Jota's done nada, I mean he's done nada wrong. Where you're talking about Mane, he's done nothing wrong, mate. So, Mane's done everything wrong, but Jota's done nothing wrong. So why are we even thinking about this?
There isn't competition for the front three. There's not, because Klopp struggles even against Man City. Like, there's competition for midfield, but there is not. I don't care what anyone says. The performances, some of those front three, barring Salah this season, and probably Jota as well, but Firmino and Mane have been some of the worst performances I've seen, right? Yet they start the following game. Now, you cannot tell me that if you're sitting on the bench and you watch that utter pish and they're starting the next game, that doesn't reduce your confidence and reduce any
What have you just said?
Utter rubbish. Sorry.
Oh, wait, did you say pish or did you say pish?
Pish. Sorry, that's very Scottish.
No, I just want to know what that means. That's all. I don't
just
even want to
piss, piss poor. Just piss poor.
Oh, piss. The way you said that, you say
sorry,
piss.
Mate, that was very.
No, do you know when
Scottish.
you're passionate? No, do you know when you're passionate though? And I'm like, oh, you taking the piss? I think I said.
Well, I was going to go heavier, swear.
Do you remember when I done the video? Do you remember that video that went viral? And everything said Sadio, when Sadio Mane, the best player in the world.
What video is that, James? I've never seen that video.
It was just the one that just got like 1.5 million views on YouTube.
I don't do ifs or maybes. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I only know that because I checked yesterday, by the way. I don't often check.
I seen on I'm not on TikTok, but someone else sent it to me today, James. I'll send it to you. Someone actually doing your thing of outside of Anfield with the Mane on TikTok. Brilliant, very, very good. This classic.
But on that, guys, what I was saying is, I don't think there really is, because he constantly starts them. So I don't think it's. I think it's maybe subconscious, but there's definitely an area of complacency. I feel like they feel like it doesn't matter how poor they play, they will play the following game, and the proof's in the pudding. That's happened continuously. I'm on 100% with James. Every game, it seems to be, no, I don't mean you here, Nick, but other fans will say, we need to play this player because of that game. We've lost 6 games in a row at home. Or just forget that. Just drop him. Yeah. He needs dropped. He needs to know that he's not playing good enough as well, because sometimes you need to say, you need to do more. I mean, we're talking about, maybe I was going to say, I wouldn't even put him on the bench, because he physically looks like he needs to just rest for weeks and not even look at the game. But that's not going to happen. He's going to play tomorrow, and then you keep saying the same thing, because it will not be a good enough performance, but there's no competition. And it's like, see, sometimes as a coach, I don't know if you feel the same, that he should just play. If players aren't as good as Mane, like even a Redio or a Shaqiri, just play them, because he needs to know that he's not performing up to standard, and he's not going to play if he continues that way. But that's not happening. So it's worked for Klopp for years. It's been amazing, but it's not working now. We say competition, but it took Klopp to play a 4-2-3-1 against Man City because he wouldn't drop Bobby Firmino. So I think that says it all when it comes to Klopp and dropping any of the front three. Like, he's got his favourites, and it's worked for 3 years, but it's not going to continue to work. There needs to be more ruthlessness. It's too sentimental at times.
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree.
No, that's the problem. Yeah. And you don't want to fall into that, because how did Man United stay on top? Because they kept changing and they kept doing that shit. I want Liverpool to have that same success, baby.
And doesn't have to be that degree, James. It could just be smarter, in the sense of, like, Jota is a great signing. See, actually, Jota is that's a good example of how they've done that. But if you put a number 9 in there as well, and it's not, people keep saying, and I've said this, does he fit our system? We shouldn't care about that. If he comes in, they should be fighting to get in that first team. And you know, if you're not good enough to get in, I don't care who you are, you're not starting that match. But
sit on the bench. Straight.
Yeah, but just accept it, because Man City can do that, and it's not the same. I'm not saying we're on the same level money-wise, right? But it's not like you can't do that. It's not like other teams apart from Man City have got strong benches as well. And it's like, there's a lot of games in the season, and people keep telling you they're not going to start. There's constant games, Champions League if we're in it or whatever, League Cup. There's plenty of games. There's plenty of games, guys, and I feel like football's changing now, because it's like they want more and more and more, don't they? So it's like, and it's just, for me, there needs to be more. I agree, James. See the Man United comparison. It's not a coincidence that literally that was the best manager for probably ever, right? Because he was very good at just cutting ties when it needed to be. And we're not even saying you need to get rid of them. We're just saying you need to stop. The front three is done. See that front three for Firmino, Mane and Salah together all the time? It's done. It's finished.
That's normal.
Exactly.
It is.
That's normal. It's not supposed to last 5, 6, 7 years.
It's lasted longer than it usually does, mate.
Way longer.
Way longer. Crazy. But it shouldn't have got to this point, though. We should have saw last year.
A point on that.
Dropping off.
Yeah, and a point as well on that is the intensity at training, right from the get-go in July pre-season, right until the following summer where they've 3 weeks off. If you're going to do that year after year, week after week, season after season, it's going to catch up in you. And that's what's happened as well, mentally and physically training. So I agree with you, lads, and they probably overdone the bit because of the couple of seasons they've been the main front three and the walk and the goals they've given us, the memories. So bit of competition, and we're back again.
Nah, that's what you want. By the way, people, there's some great comments in the chat, so I'm taking a picture of them just so we don't ruin the flow or anything. But don't worry, we will get back to them. Shout out to Gangan Deep as well, the main brother.
Shout out Gangan Deep.
There was a great comment before as well. Someone comparing the Trent. Yeah, shout out to Michael who brings up this comment. Trent badly needs some competition as well, and this is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
competition is never a bad thing. And actually, I want to talk about Trent as well. I want to talk about Trent, mate, because he's another one. Had a phenomenal game against Arsenal, and rightly so deserved his applause.
Viral again, James.
Brilliant. I love that video.
The internet just loves you, mate. The internet just loves you.
Do you know what though? That could have been anyone. That could have been anyone in my whoever was.
It was mental. The timing was crazy, mate. You couldn't make that up.
No,
if you haven't saw it, it's at the start of the last Redmond roundup that I posted yesterday, I believe. But the timing though, I was near the end of my point.
It was
the way you just couldn't say nothing for 2 minutes. You just.
Bro,
and then,
do you know what I mean? No, I just
said,
saw his fucking afro and I was like, that's not Mo Salah. That is not Mo Salah.
Classic.
Lads, that was just... do you know what, though? You live and you learn. You live and you learn. You become a better person
it wasn't your fault, mate. You were actually just making... You said... You did say... And you,
do you know what, though? If he saw that, he knows I'm backing him.
But you said it doesn't matter what he does in this game, and then he done that. So you weren't lying. You weren't lying. You know?
It was like... Nah, do you know what? I predicted the future in the way that I didn't want to.
Yeah.
But
That's spot on.
I thought it was brilliant. It's
stupid though. It's also
that was jokes.
This is the way. Because because I used to do live match reactions and it was bullshit because it weren't even live. But basically, I put my phone down and I record myself watching the game. Do you know what I mean? And anyway, once the game will finish, I'd obviously edit it all together. But if there was a bit that made me look like a tit, mate, I mean. Not a chance am I putting that in, do you know what I mean? Whereas now it's all there to see. Everyone's got
it was just unfortunate, mate. It was unfortunate.
Everyone's got that bloody fucking screen record option on the phone. Samsung fucking iPhone doesn't matter no more, mate. You can get
that's
any
gone viral.
Going crazy. I've been getting DMs. I had a nan laughing at me in the DMs the other day. She was having a good time in my DMs, just saying, ha ha, in your face, I saw your video. Ha ha ha. And she put X's at the end of it. X's. Imagine a granny sliding into your DMs and putting X's at the end of the sentence. Because that's not, just the granny messaging isn't creepy enough. And this is a true story. I actually want to get the DM up now. But like, do you know what I mean? Anyway, back to the point I was saying about fucking Trent though. Because this just segued in a mad direction.
Love it.
Here's the thing. The point that I was making before I was so rudely into fucking erupted was...
By his shit,
and I went, by his fucking mistake. I went on about you, by the way. The point that I was actually making is that I do feel like, just from what I've saw of him in interviews, from what I've saw of him just sort of within games, how much it means to him, I feel like them type of players have just got a different mentality. I feel like he truly believes that he deserves to be where he is, and I feel like people like that, but this season, will have knocked him down a peg or two, and I don't feel like that's a bad thing in any way, shape or form. And obviously you're going to get all the haters who are going to be like, oh, well, Reece James is better than Trent. Well, let's see if Reece James can do it for 3 seasons and then maybe we can have a conversation. But right now, keep your mouth shut, because at the end of the day, if we're talking about form, there's many right-backs better than Trent. It's not hard to be better than Trent on form, especially when you're going off the courses of the season, because he's had good games, but... I look at purely consistency. Like, look at Mane, he's getting a goal every once in a while, but even though he's getting much less, he's still chipping in with a goal every now and then. Not good enough still. We want everything else that comes with it, because that's what wins trophies, motherfuckers. Do you get what I mean? Nothing changes, boys, and at the end of the day, the point of what Michael's making, we need competition. If you
hindsight, Clyne would have been a good one to keep you.
Clyne would have been fantastic.
I said that at the time. I said that at the time.
He did say that, yeah.
He was one of England's best right-backs. Nick, do you have
people
any
forget how good he was for Liverpool? He was so good for Liverpool.
We will never know what the hell happened with that situation, because, like I said, there are some things that, like, us four, we do this and we do this like, but we ain't flipping geniuses, mate. How can we see this shit and they can't? Like, there's got to be something that's going on that we just will not know, because, like you said, Clyne would have been fantastic, mate.
Do you not think that it was a Trent thing, though? Because, like, let's be honest, right? Scouse guy coming in, doing amazing. Yeah. That every Liverpool fan got behind that. And if you tried to say Clyne at that time, I'm not saying Clyne to start, but he came in against Man U 3-1 when Shaqiri scored, right? Blinding game. Clyne's no amazing going forward, but you're not going to beat him one-on-one. I'd still say he's genuinely one of the best defensive fullbacks I've seen, and by that you could say he doesn't attack a lot, but he was very good. I thought even when Liverpool were getting cut open, he was quite good. I just feel like that didn't suit the narrative and the agenda at the time. I know we weren't doing this, but 100%, because I was saying Trent wasn't having always an amazing game. He was doing something, scored against Newcastle 1-2-0, piss poor in that game, but because he scored, gender is his man, he is the man, and he's amazing. But there was no reason to just put Trent in and put Nico Williams as his cover, unless Nathaniel Clyne wanted to leave, like push.
Or didn't want to be cover to a young boy.
See, that's what I think it was. Yeah. I think Clyne is thinking to himself, because didn't he have an injury problem, which is why Trent got
his lower back.
Yeah, that's why I was maybe thinking he would have stayed, because he did keep having injury problems.
Facts, but when you're Nathaniel Clyne, before you get that back injury, you are top 3 best right backs in England, because Kyle Walker was obviously there and thereabouts. There might have been
squad,
someone else, like maybe Trippier, I'm not sure. But Clyne was one of the best, especially when he first joined us, mate. So in his own head, he knows he's got the ability. Because at Southampton, he was a monster. I remember seeing Nathaniel Clyne. When we signed Nathaniel Clyne, I was like, thank fucking goodness, because obviously Glenn Johnson had a bit of sauce to him, but that was at the start. That went very, very
finished though.
He was finished.
Would have just been useful to have a right back who could defend, you know.
Proper right back, mate. So then he gets injured, so we rely on Trent, which at the time, very fucking stupid and very naive from FSG. Obviously a blessing in disguise, but still low. And now, in hindsight, we've gone with, you know what, now it was all right to just let Clyne go. Because my issue is, I don't feel like we persuaded him to want to stay, but in his mind he's thinking, I'm a national player, mate. You know, I'm someone who should be playing.
All he needed was an arm round his an arm round his head.
He probably saw Trent's defending and thought, this motherfucker's playing above me.
But there was a gap, though, guys, because he came back from his loan, right? So it was like that happened. But when he came back, I might be wrong, I think it was last year. So obviously Trent's one of the best right backs in the world then. So if you say to him there, as Nick says, if you put your arm, I'm telling you, like, there is decisions Liverpool fans don't say anything there because it's Trent. He doesn't need, like, that was stupid
thinking. Lad.
Like Clyne, right? Sometimes you need to think about adaptability. Now, very often you're not going to do it with Trent, but even if you wanted to play a game, if Trent wanted to go further forward, like even cover for left back because Clyne can do left back. Honestly, it was a brainless decision to let him go. The only reason I could see it is maybe he wanted to go the back himself, but he was quite injury prone that time as well.
And the injury prone, And I think as well as that, Conroy, he's Trent suited our style of play at the time, that heavy metal football, that getting forward, that assist.
You two right backs though, Dan, you know, and Nico Williams
you do, absolutely. And I remember that game against United we won, and I remember Neville at the start of the game was saying Liverpool's weakness today where United got them is Clyne hasn't played in 8 or 9 months, and he was superb coming into that game. He really was.
Because he's a superb right back.
He was very experienced as well. But I remember Trent coming into Liverpool was a Swansea. You got the goal against a cracker. We won, I think it was 5 or 6-0. And that was the start. And Klopp, his mother had approached Klopp and says, look, thanks for giving him the game. He was only probably 17, 18 at the time. And since then, he just developed into an unbelievable player. Now, I know this season, look, it's backs against the walls. He's under pressure. He's not delivering what he was. And the whole England thing probably isn't helping either. And sometimes for local players, the whole national team thing can be overhyped and get in the way and can be a confidence knocked him because he is still relatively young and the achievements he's got.
He's 22. He's 20.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'd say is like we don't want a Clyne 2.0. A Trent 2.0. We want someone who can actually maybe like oppose what Trent gives. Do you know exactly and give us fucking options? So that's why I'm like,
you can go to 4-4-2, you've got a 4-4-2 playing Trent right mid or something. I'm not saying you do that full time, but there's some games where that suits it, that works. You know, like I just.
And you know that Clyne's good enough to not get beaten on his side, so it's like, whatever's going on.
If we still had Clyne, I think right now we'd probably be starting. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, of course, and exactly. We would be like, fine. Oh, you know what, Trent, have some time off. It's all right. Do you know what I mean? We would adapt. Like, we've got Thiago, so maybe we'd get some creativity through Thiago, and because obviously Clyne isn't going to give you that creative outlet. Whatever the case is, we could switch it up. Now we don't even have that option. It don't make sense. I'm going on. It must have been more Clyne or something.
It must have been. Hindsight's 20/20, guys. But the problem is when you let someone go like that, see, try to sign someone in. Sorry, James. Like sign someone like that, right? It's not always easy nowadays because English players or even a standard Premier League player like that, they put 10 million or 5 million additional even if they're not playing on anything. How much
did we sell Clyne, by the way?
I don't actually even know that information, but I think it was.
Get a fee?
I think it might have
been. For Crystal Palace, we sold him to, you know?
Was it like
I think it was a free. It might have been a free. He went on because I know he was injured.
I think you're right.
He was injured and then our contract.
The contract may have ran out.
The contract ran out.
This topic though as well from O Campione, but like let me just say this first: Clyne played every game in like the first 2 seasons, and Klopp got bit and under Klopp and got burnt out. I don't know. The injury had a part to play.
He got a bad injury. He did get a bad injury.
He got a very bad injury, lower back, weren't it, mate? So and then O Campione says Trent can't defend. Biggest myth when people say he can't, boys. What do you think?
He needs to defend better.
This is it. At the end of the day, he's improving defensively, but he's still not good enough at this level in that position. At the end of the day,
consistently.
Mate, so
I'll let you guys go first because I want to ask something on this after it. So I'll let you guys
ask away.
Go on, Conroy.
See, the problem I've got with Trent, right, is seeing life. I've done stuff like this before. You progress, right, but Trent looks like he takes one step forward and two steps back when it comes to defending. Because for me, I don't understand how a person can be working on that for 2 years or a year or just improve. He doesn't have to be a great defender. He just has to be decent. And right now, against Real Madrid, I seen Ferland Mendy just touch the ball inside and he just stood him up like he was not there. Right backs at this level shouldn't do that. So I don't understand how he can be solid, and he is good some games defensively, or he's good enough. But then he has moments like that. So see when he goes to block across, I don't see that he wants to do it. Like he actually, like you see Robbo, like so you can't tell me that he's working on defending. I'm not saying he needs to be amazing, but see if he was genuinely decent, he would be. No one would be saying anything. But he's getting done. He's getting done a lot, and it's got to be better.
A commitment though. It's more of. It seems to me like as if it's the basics. It's the commitment. It's just not putting that extra yard or two in. It's not getting in that bit harder.
How can you not get better?
No, do you know what it is? I don't know. Go on.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Nick. Well, my point on it was I don't think it's nothing to do with how he's being coached. I think it might be just something in him. There's a lack of confidence, or it's not getting in, giving that harder tackle, maybe, I don't know, getting more physical with the player that's coming up against him. It seems to be just more
is he too emotional, Darren? Is he too emotional?
Probably, yeah.
I'm a Liverpool man, I'm here, because he gets in fights with Vinicius Junior, and Vinicius Junior's like,
there's no need for it.
I've hooked you, mate. This is easy for me. I'm going to get a free kick. You're going to start an argument, and then you've lost your head.
With Trent against Vinicius Junior, I think Vinicius Junior, is he younger than Trent? It was like as if Vinicius Junior had 10 years older.
It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing.
Yeah, but it was like as if he had 10 years older, because even his attitude, the discipline of him, it was just so much. He skilled Trent in terms of he just let him on. He skilled him, and his discipline was a lot better. And Trent he did lose the head a little bit with him, but I suppose that's frustrations. He gave away goals. He was responsible, and then all the international talk and the being dropped out of England wouldn't have helped. But I don't know. It's a really debatable one.
Yeah, no, definitely, 100%. Go on, Nick.
See, the thing is, right, with me, yeah, I think that Trent has never really been that good defensively. I don't think he's ever been that good defense. Like you said, he's been good enough. But Trent, like, you got to remember that Trent has been the poster boy for the type of right back that now exists. You know what I mean? People were going out to find Trent like players. You know what I mean? Trent like right backs. I think he's
you're not going to find it though. He's exceptional with the ball. You're not going to find it.
That. He's exceptional creative.
Like you'll need to find a cam. You'll need to find an attacker midfielder and move him back.
It's still not going to work. It's still not going to work. And the thing is, like, it hasn't helped. When I say this, you'll know what I mean. It hasn't helped having a colossus like Van Dijk in the middle. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And then if you happen to beat him, like I said, you've got Alisson. And so when you look at it, attacks have always come down his side. He never has closed down crosses, because I think to himself, it is a bit of laziness, and he's never been that good about it. It's been like, well, you know what? I'll try. I know that Van Dijk would deal with it, and I can then be the creative outlet. Do you know what I mean? I'm there, a passing lane, and then I can get the attack going, and it's like that. There was one goal, I think it was a Southampton, where like he just let the ball kind of go past him, and he's thinking ahead. Do you know what I mean? And he's like, and you're like, no, bro, just defend, innit? So that's his problem. And then you don't have Van Dijk. Do you know what I mean? You don't. Our whole back line has been mad. Yeah. So it's just. It is just crazy. So now you're asking more of him that he's never shown you before anyways. You know, and then one's there. So
did any see the Jamie Carragher analysis of the Arsenal game about Trent? Now this is
when he was like saying the bending the knees and shit like
that.
No,
it was not that. Well, I'm talking about the Arsenal when he was good. He said the problem with Trent is I criticise him defensively. Carragher went, I criticise him, but I don't criticise him for. So he showed that when Trent plays, it's different under Klopp. The risk to reward. So when the left back or left mid has the ball, he gets Trent to press quite high. So he says you can't actually. Real Madrid's a bad example, but before that game, he gets out of position. But sometimes it's not necessarily his fault because he's told to gamble like that and press high. His criticism of Trent is one-on-one defending. That's what he feels he needs to improve. It's not necessarily being out of position all the time. But it's I thought that was interesting. It is, mate. But he needs to take it more serious now, though. I think he's not taking it as not serious is the wrong word, but I feel like
will after this season.
Well, he's a bit.
Well, he's had games before, though.
No, Conroy, I'll tell you this for free. You buy fucking Max Aarons or something, yeah, I'll tell you now, that'll bring a fucking beast out of him.
Oh, I agree, mate, I agree.
This
may be the best thing for him, mate, because he doesn't need to be amazing defensively. He just has to be good enough. Like, this is the thing. Rio Ferdinand, shout out to Rio Ferdinand, because I thought he was on that podcast, right?
Yeah.
And he was not having none of it. He was like, and the truth is, it's easier to get someone to not to be an amazing defender, but to get his ability.
What was Rio Ferdinand saying?
Rio Ferdinand said he was on it was a Man U podcast, and they were trying to say, no, I'd rather have a Reece James or a
Wan-Bissaka.
And do you know what? See, he's not getting a fair shout out. Even Trippier with Atletico, I'd say there's more argument for him because.
Do you know what's mad? He's above both of them.
No.
In both elements.
Aye, but what the point is, but listen, this is what Rio Ferdinand said. So they were saying that, and he went, "Don't be silly, guys." He went, right. He said he's not having a great season, but he says, but there's not a Trent's been the best right back for 2 years or past 3 years, and he says you're not going to find a better ball player right back in the world. Like you will not find that. And he basically went, you're not going to find that. So it's like, show me someone who's better defensively, but is anywhere near him, ball playing wise or attacking wise.
Assist wise and going forward.
He said, no, but he just said, just in general, the ability he got, and he says you can't. So it's like, why are we even debating this? Why would you take away a strength from England when you know that's a massive strength? Find a system to play him in, even taking him, but even his crossing and passing ability. Why would you? You don't need 3 right backs who are just good going forward and good defending. You'd rather have one who's decent at defending, or maybe not great at season, but amazing attacking wise. Do you think any other country in the world would try to start that? And basically, Rio Ferdinand went on to say, we've got a really big issue in this country where we really love to drag people down. And he's spot on. Yeah, again.
And that was my point about the national team and the criticism in the media, that's a confidence knock to Trent, because he is still a young lad.
And this is one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League's ever seen, right?
Yeah.
They're debating it with him.
Nah, it's facts though, lads. It's fact. Even the players know. The players know. They've been there. And I'm not saying that they're right about everything, but in this case, that we know what football fans are like. We know what Twitter's like. That's why I just ignore it.
And you know Trent's special going forward. You know he's special.
Whether you agree with me or not, you can't deny what you've just said there, Conroy. He is so special going forward, and it's different.
Absolutely.
You've never saw anything like it.
He needs to have a kick up the arse. He's a kick up the arse defensively, and I think he knows that now.
But that comes with age. That comes with a more
experience.
Do you think he gets too emotional, James? Being from Liverpool, do you think he gets too emotional sometimes?
But listen, mate. It's an emotional.
He's young though.
I don't mean. Let me say this. It's an emotional style of football. It's an emotional style of football that's been described that way from the very manager himself. So now, as we need to transition, Trent, as a young player, needs to adapt to that transition.
Maybe I should say, emotional is the wrong word. I don't mean passion if they comment. I don't mean that. I mean, sometimes, right, Trent to me feels like he loves an argument with a player, right? Where I've noticed the best players just don't. Yeah.
But that comes with age though, Conroy.
I know, mate, but maybe he needs to adapt now, because it's like he's 22 and I agree he's young, but he wants to be the best right back in the world. He has been. He wants to continue it. And right now, he's going to have to change. He's going to have to work on areas of his game.
Boys, we'll touch on it more in a bit. I just wanted to read these comments first off. Shout out to Jamie Lane, who says, can we all speak about my Scouser, my brother Scouser, Trent and Naby having racist comments against them? It's completely wrong. Facts, and I just wanted to mention it because obviously we've got a few more things to talk about, but it's absolutely not right if we don't talk about that. If you don't know my stance on it, then well, you haven't been on this channel. I'm pretty sure you know my stance on it. It's just a load of arse, mate, about people who come out and do that. And to be honest with you, I know you can't just ignore them because social media, not everyone's just like the same type of person where you can just ignore it, because every time you look at your phone, that's what you're going to see. Them people are just scumbags, and I've said it before, they're faceless trolls who don't want to show their face because they know they'll get in trouble for it. So at the end of the day, I don't like to waste my time on them people. That's me. I don't think it's worth wasting my time on them people, because would they come to my face and say that? I don't think they would. I really don't. At the end of the day, it's just, unless they were on some sort of, like, sober, seeing me in the street one-on-one, are they going to come to my face and say that? No, they're not, mate. So, listen, I fucking pray for Trent and Naby, because at the end of the day, let's hope that they're okay in this situation. That can be a ruthless thing, mate. Thinking, what? I'm getting attacked for the colour of my skin, even though they know it happens, and it's a regular occurrence in football, and it's shit. Even the Kamara situation with Rangers, it happens all the time, but it doesn't make it sound, it doesn't make it all right. Do you know what I mean? It's like, violence in the street, if that happens, just because it happens every friggin' day doesn't make it better. So it's the same in that situation. Do you get what I mean? But I just wanted to mention that, and I thought that was a good comment from Jamie as well. I don't know if any of you boys want to touch on that as well.
Could I just add as well, I'll let the guys talk now, but see on the base we spoke about in the chat as well, what I mentioned about Swansea, that was yesterday, guys, and I think Rangers today and a few other teams are all coming off social media relations to the different, because there's been a few kind of racist events. Again, it's disgusting, but it's not surprising. I've said that to Nick a few times as well. It's a weekly occurrence, but it seems to be, it's just, there's no real words, it's just disgusting. But the thing is, with that, taking a break from social media, Thierry Henry's done it, like actually taking off the social media, Swansea have done it. I think that's a starter for 10 from most teams, like Henderson as well. Sorry, mate.
Henderson's let someone take over his social media, hasn't he? And like he's going to be posting like a campaign, or he's going to be letting a campaign page take over his Instagram. So that's really good as well.
We spoke about this before. We spoke about this before and other things, Nick, and Daz as well. But I think I'm not sure if I say this to you, James. But the thing is, right, this is how life works. See if it doesn't affect someone's way of life or what they do. So say like this doesn't involve a certain person, right? You have to affect, like, so if it's a fan at a stadium and someone in a crowd's being racist, you have to ban that stand. It's the only way things are going to, because I keep seeing show racism on the red card, and it's just like all this stuff that I've been typing about for years. What does it achieve? It doesn't achieve anything.
What you're saying, Conroy, and to be very honest with you, like this will segue into a far deeper, do you know what I mean, chow, whatever the case may be. But like in terms of what you're saying is actual ways of wanting to stop something. That's a genuine, that comes from a genuine wanting to stop. Unfortunately, there isn't that. You got to understand that we're you know what I mean, we're long enough in the tooth to know that.
Yeah,
it's not the world isn't run like that. Do you know what I mean? And like things like that are never going to happen, because unfortunately it's do you know what I mean? There's far bigger things than racism, unfortunately, and it shouldn't be. But that's just how it is, because those that control what's going on, you know what I mean, you're not going to hurt their pocket by banning a whole stand. It's just not going to happen. So it's never really going to ever get better, because the ones that need to make, do you know what I mean? Like it isn't. Like I said,
that's the proper shame about it, isn't it, Nick?
Yeah, it is.
It is shameful.
But see on Twitter, guys, do you not think there's on Twitter, and I can hear what you're saying, Nick. I'm just wondering if with Twitter, if it's the case of that a lot of people have been saying you need to have a driver license or passport to have a Twitter account.
Well, that's
so
what
if enough big organisations put the usage down, it's a simple thing to do. It's really not difficult. Any company can do that, because you have to go through, for even you're doing random things in the world now, you have to show identification. So if enough people lower the usage,
you're gonna stop. You're gonna half their usage by how it's all about dough. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, it all comes from a real wanting. If there was a real, if those people were like, everyone was like, you know what, this is wrong, we're gonna stop. It would be half by half, isn't it? There isn't a genuine want like that. It is just we'll do as much as we can.
It's absolutely, it's shameful, and absolutely, like it's disgusting, because these lads like Naby, Keita and Trent have been not the only ones. Like every week you hear something of racism, but these lads are going to work, they're playing something they love, they're representing a club that they love, and they're playing for fans that, you know what I mean, we all want to be at games, we can't get to go, and like there's that sort of stuff going on. It's just absolutely, it's shameful, it really is, and it's not enough being done about it, of course not. And it's, look, I don't know what's going to happen, but there's going to have to be a bigger stance, and there's going to have to be more done, because it just can't continue, because it's just every week and probably even game after game there's something about racism, isn't there? It's shocking.
Yeah, it's even like what Big Six Bands mentions here as well about the situation in La Liga, and obviously there's like always conspiracies that go on with these things. Just look at it for what it is, mate. If someone's being racist, it's just being racist, you know what I mean? Let's, punish them, show them a proper punishment, and then we can maybe start moving somewhere. And it's even like what O Campione says, social media has to take some blame. Allowing those troll accounts to be racist, should be restrictions in place. That's what we're trying to say as well.
Easy enough to do, guys. It's most common.
It is.
How dare we allow ourselves to be able to make all these different accounts with no proof of identification and think that this weren't going to happen? Are we stupid? We're basically doing what we would have the opportunity to do if we were able to have all the powers in physical life. So if you could become the strongest man in the world, are you going to be scared of anyone? Probably not, because you can pick them up and you can throw them. So at the end of the day, it's a similar situation here. You're giving people a mask. You're giving them no consequences. So when you give people no consequences, they just do whatever the fuck they want. When there's no rules in place, we're all hooligans. It's just facts, mate. We're all fucking weirdos. And it's only normal people who will put it in place and say what's right and wrong, because there is right and wrong, and that's very much wrong. And just to sum it up, best wishes go to Trent and Naby, of course, because again, like what I mentioned before, it must be a horrible thing to go through that I've never had to experience. Thank God I've never had to experience it, but also I've saw people very close to me have to go through stuff like that, mate, and it's not a nice thing to see. It's not a nice thing to see when you know that person as well, and you know the qualities about them, and you know that they're actually a fucking beautiful person inside, and what colour they are shouldn't have to determine how you look at them. It's bollocks, mate. So fuck all of them knobheads, you know what I mean? They've got no time in my life, mate, I'll tell you that for free. And one last time, best wishes go to Trent, of course, and Naby, of course. We're going to talk about Naby and his move to, his links away from the club and whatnot. Obviously, he's just had a bit of a below-par game at Real Madrid. But before we do, Nick, you've got to shoot off at 10 o'clock, my brother. Am I right?
About 10, quarter past 10 or something, so we're all right.
If we're saying quarter past, we'll just get the quiz out the way, and then we'll get back into the topics, because... people, we've got a new... By the way, boys, have you got paper and pen?
2 seconds, guys. Just switch the heating off. I'll be 2 seconds. I need to switch the heating off. I'll be 2 seconds.
Yeah, man.
He's warming up there, Conroy.
He's warming up. Wait, Sean, have you got paper and pen, by the way, boys?
Yeah.
Yes. So while Conroy's doing his thing, I'll explain what the concept of the show is. So let me just get the little thing go up. I'm not gonna lie, my laptop's being slow as fuck. But here we go. Shit, let me remove the comment. Why isn't it? There we go. Shout out to Big Six Bands as well. Right, there we go. So people, this is the new LFC Nations Quiz Cup, a competition that will be taking place between Conroy, Darren and Nick, obviously representing their respected nations. It's going to be insane. People, basically, the way this works and the way I've wanted to work this out is there will be 20 quizzes. Now, for each quiz, there will be about 10 questions, roughly 10 questions, and for each answer you get right, that will be a point. Now, whoever's got the most points at the end of the roughly 10 questions will win that quiz, and the winner, first place, will get 3 points, second place will get a point, and last place will get no points. Now, this is going to be ran over the course of 20 episodes of the LFC Talk Show. This is obviously week 1. We're going to see who can get the points and the glory today. All we need, boys, is a pen and paper. It's going to be insane. It's going to be a good one. 10 questions, 3 locations, 3 opponents, and a fuckload to prove, yeah? Listen, and just because I've done an Irish accent, that is not me implying on who I want to win. But whoever wins, whoever has the most points accumulated at the end of the tournament, basically, I think that whoever has the least...
It's a volley proper 12.
Yeah, whoever has the least amount of points at the end of it will then be the next person who does the quizzes, but I'm the person who does the quizzes for now. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not escaping this either, I'm just escaping this one. Obviously,
shout out to real proper 12 for the winner as well.
We'll
get it here in McGregor's local, the Black Fort here. He's actually taking it over, so seeing some pictures. It looks lush.
Shout out to Big Six Bands. Make sure you go subscribe to them. Phenomenal channel, man like Munch. On a more positive note, what a panel. Energy. Smash the likes, people. It really helps us out as well.
Smash them likes, man.
Subscribe to the boys. That would be really, really appreciated.
Energy.
All the link is in the description, and obviously it's on the screen too. I want to make sure I don't miss anything out before I start this quiz. Have I said everything there, boys? Are we good to go? Are we
Let's rock.
Are we Gucci? Go ahead then, sound.
Samuel FC just said 10 out of 10 incoming. I don't think so, mate.
Pressure's on, Conroy. Pressure's on.
Definitely come along and give your answers. But boys, don't be cheating. Don't be cheating. You don't need to cheat, because not all of you will know all these answers. Yeah. So at the end of the day, let's see who wins week 1 of the LFC Talk Show quiz. So, question 1. Are you ready, boys?
Ready.
So basically, what the quiz is based off as well is because obviously Trent had a good performance, and I rate this right after that good performance, and then he went on to have a bad performance. So I thought, am I going to get rid of the quiz and change it up? I was like, nah. So it's more of a quiz on right backs. So not just Trent, but also other right backs in this 10 questions. So here we go.
Right.
To start off nicely, what year did Trent make his debut, and who was it against? I want at least the team. So I want the year and the team.
Do we call it? I'll write it down, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, call it Daz.
I want at least
I think I know it.
It's all competitions, by the way, not
I
just
hate years.
league debut.
I hate years.
Yeah.
All
I want at least the
competitions.
team.
Oh no.
I want at least
no.
the team. That's what I want.
Right,
Tell me what I really
Well,
want.
I'm going for that. It might be wrong. If it's the one I think it is, but I'm going for it because if I don't, I'll be
I'm
annoyed.
gonna need today. I'm gonna need to, mate, tell you to fucking hurry up because you're taking the piss.
Yeah,
I've wrote mine. I've wrote mine down.
No, go ahead, sweet then. Well, show us your answer, Roonies.
Anyone see mine?
Oh
Me
shit!
too, man.
Who the fuck?
I put United.
Right,
Swansea.
no, this is the way we need to do it. One by one, say your answers out loud, but also show it to the screen for proof.
I've
basically.
Swansea 2017.
Okay,
Could be wrong, but
Nick,
Swansea.
what's yours?
Swansea 2016.
Okay, and then Conroy.
United 2016.
Well, you are all wrong, and all therefore get 0 points. It was 2016 against Spurs in the Carabao Cup.
Nah. Got the year right though, Jamez. Got the year right, mate.
Got the year right. I was well off.
What? Wait there. So wait there. Did both Nick and Darren say 2017?
No, I said
No, he
16.
said 16. We said Swansea. Both were said Swansea.
Both of us said Swansea, but I
Wait
said
there,
16.
Who did you say though, Conroy? Who did you say? What
I said
team?
United in 2016.
Nah, no points given there, the boys. So no.
No, I'm just happy with myself. I always get the years wrong, so I'm pretty delighted I got the year right.
Yeah,
So
me too.
honestly, genuinely, I'm buzzing with that.
It's right, that was
Yeah.
registered. It was proper
That's
skinny.
good.
Well, that's question 1 out the way. Question 2. At just 22 years of age, Trent Alexander-Arnold has played a lot of first-team football, but how many games has Trent played for Liverpool Football Club professionally?
Just
That's
overall.
overall, and whoever
This
gets
is-
the closest gets the point. So whoever's closest to the answer gets the point. Don't be looking at the chat, boys.
No.
Do you know what I mean? By the way, congratulations to everyone who got the last answer right. Shout out to Ardag. Shout out to Sam.
It's a complete
Shout
guess.
out to
This.
the
I
boys.
think
Yeah,
it's
I'm
very
just-
hard to call it. It's a
I'm
complete
guessing.
guess.
All right then, are you ready?
Right, mine is
Go on, Darren.
125 appearances.
125 appearances. Okay, Nick.
206 appearances.
206 appearances, and Conroy.
150.
150 appearances. Well, I will tell you now, and I will tell you for free. The person that gets the point for this round is the one, the only man like Conroy gets the first point
Oh,
of
hello,
week 1.
Conroy.
LFC
150.
Nation quiz. So well done,
brother.
Conroy. You get the point there, my friend.
How many was
What was
it?
the answer?
It was 170 appearances made for the first team in all.
Do you know how I
I've
got
won
that?
20.
Do you know how I got
I
that?
was well
'Cause Robbo was over 100 a couple of months ago, or like a month ago, so I thought Trent's been in a little bit longer, so I thought.
Hey, shout
Yeah.
out to old Campione who says 175, so he was really, really good.
Yeah.
Shout out to Channon who said
Mate,
171.
I'm
Shit, he was
terrible
very
at exact numbers, honestly, guys. So I'm buzzing with that.
Hey, well, Conroy,
Yeah, that's good.
You've got the first point, my friend. So
Aye.
fucking is right.
1 out of 10,
Um,
solid first week, guys. 1 out
Can't
of 10.
complain. This, by the way, this question's similar. It's whoever gets closest to the answer. So, obviously, I create goals at right back as being the top goal maker in our team for quite some time now. But since his debut in 2016, how many assists has he accumulated for Liverpool? Whoever gets the closest to the answer
which
gets
round?
the point. Gets the point. Everybody, cha 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 cha. Everybody, sorry.
We all got it.
All right, let's go. Show your answers the second you've got them.
33 assists.
Okay, and Nick.
65.
Okay, and Conroy.
I went for 40. 40.
Okay, the one. Conroy got it again, but he was so close to getting the exact answer. It was 41 assists. That's in all
I
competitions.
done my
43.
maths. I done like the 12, 13, and then plus the 5 this season. So
In all competitions,
Fair play,
that is what he got. Again, it's complete guessing game. That's why I like these quizzes.
That's why I tried to go as high as possible. I was like, I reckon I'm gonna. I took the wrong strategy.
Are you ready to have a party, though, my friend? I've got a multiple choice for you. Got a lovely multiple choice for you. Shout out to everyone else who's getting along in the chat. That's sick. Right, so question 4. Conroy is on 2 points, by the way. Darren's on none, and Nick's on none. Question 4.
Lucky as anything.
Even though it isn't his main attribute, Trent Alexander-Arnold has still bagged a few absolute fucking worldies in his time at Liverpool. But how many goals has he scored for Liverpool in all competitions? Is it A, 9 goals? Is it B, 11 goals? Is it C, 13 goals? Or is it D, 14 goals? Get your answers in the motherfucking chat. Let me know if you want me to repeat the answers.
I'm gonna go for... I'm gonna go for...
Jamez, what was the answer again?
Right then, A, 9 goals. B, 11 goals. C, 13 goals. And then D, 14 goals. Not repeating them again.
I'd be annoyed if I didn't. I'm going for this one.
Because I know that you're going to be like reading me, man, and seeing how I say the answers, so judge yourselves. Right, who's going first then?
I'll go first. I'll put 9.
Okay, so 9. Man like Conroy has put 9 goals.
I've put 11.
I've put 11.
Right, Nick, 11. We need confirmation, so show us the screen, my friend.
11.
B.
That's it. Yeah, man.
Can you see B?
Need to show us a little thing, just so we've got proof. So we've got like one of them. Do you know when you're outside of a nightclub and you just need to show the ID dead quick? That's all.
11 was B, yeah. 11 was B, innit?
11 was B. 11 was B.
Yeah.
So sorry, what did you say, Darren?
B, 11.
Wow. Conroy has got the point again. It was A, 9 goals for Liverpool.
Because he's not scored lots of goals. He's not scored
it was a trick question.
In all competition, though, I was in all clubs, I was like,
Bear in mind, he only gets 3 goals a season if you're lucky.
He has 8 or 9 in the league, doesn't he? In the Premier League, I think he's 8 or 9 goals.
No, that's all. Is that all competitions? Is that overall?
That's
overall, yeah.
All competitions. 9 goals. Nah, but listen, at the end of the day, whoever goes with A, like, do you know what I mean? It's always...
I know, I was so close as well.
That's right, that was kind of like a little...
But guys, he doesn't score lots of free kicks. He's scored a few. They all don't go in. He's had a few close ones as well.
No, he's had a lot of bad ones as well, yeah.
That's why I just went low.
Shout out to Rabia who got it right. Shout out to Amjad who got it right. Shout out to... Oh yeah, Rabia actually got it right twice. Yeah, so the next question. So Conroy is on 3 points. Darren is on none. And Nick is on none. Conroy is storming through week 1 of the
Misery company, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Conroy wants these first 3 points.
I'm on a false ceiling, guys. I'm going to fall down. Don't worry.
Right. So, question 5. What is the team Trent Alexander-Arnold scores against the most? Keep in mind, it's only 2 goals against this side in the 8 times of playing them. So, is it A, Arsenal? Is it B, Leicester? Is it C, Chelsea? Or is it D, Spurs?
I have my answer.
Also, I got it.
Okie
I really got it.
Right, will I go for it?
Okie
I have Chelsea.
Okay.
I have Chelsea as well.
Okay, and Nick?
C,
say it out loud
Chelsea
as well, my friend. Yep.
C, Chelsea.
Both against Kepa. Both against Kepa.
Well,
yes,
guess what, boys?
Stamford Bridge.
Guess what, the boys? You can all say that you've got a point in the week 1.
Yay!
Yes! Yes!
No! See that one at Stamford Bridge? See when he hit that at Stamford Bridge, the pace on that was ridiculous. I remember that.
We won 2-1 that day, probably.
It was just pissed that it was empty stadium.
I thought that
no, the first one at Stamford Bridge, Nick, when it was like Salah rolled it to him. That was amazing.
But the best one was at Anfield when there was the night that we lifted the league. Remember the 5-3 game? That was
stop it.
And there was no one at the stadium. I was like,
no one at it. Even Naby Keita's goal that night was sensational.
Guys, people forget Chamberlain's goal. See the breakaway when the corner and Robbo beats the man.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
That was the 5th one. Brilliant, yeah.
Defo. 100%. I thought you might have gone with Leicester, boys.
Yeah. Oh, he's had a few great performances. He's got about 5 assists against Leicester, isn't he?
I feel do you know the last season when he played Leicester, I feel like that's what certified him as the best right back in the world for some people.
When he done the Mbappe, brilliant.
You know what I mean?
The league title celebration, that was the night we won the league.
James is like watching from Liverpool, like, calm it down, mate. Like, he's watching that when he does them. Calm it down, mate. Do you know what I mean? Don't get too carried away.
This quiz is sick. I'm so happy.
You need James for the live watch-alongs with a game like that. 13 points clear.
By the way, tune in tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Aston Villa, of course. Boys, we've got 4 questions left though, so actually you can bring this back. You have to rely on Conroy getting a few wrong, but still you can get this back. Bear in mind as well, second place gets a point. So first place gets 3 points, whoever wins the quiz, but second place gets a point. So there's still something to fight for between Nick and Darren, who are level on 1, and Conroy's obviously on 4. But anyway, question 6. Shout out to the Irish brother, Steve Finnan.
I knew he was going to bring up Finnan. How could a fucking not it be illegal, right? Steve Finnan signs. It would though. Steve Finnan signs from which club for Liverpool in 2003? Is it A, Leicester City? Is it B, Notts County? Is it C, Nottingham Forest? Or is it D, Fulham?
I have my answer.
Okie dokie. See, I'd struggle with this question because I'm younger.
Fulham.
So I'd struggle. Go on then. Don't say it dead quick, Darren. Wait for me because now Nick might take your answer. So wait for me to call it. What did you say, D? Did everyone go with D?
Yeah, Fulham.
Yeah, Darren, next time, hold the gas, my friend. Hold the brakes.
We didn't know that one. The Pizza Hut sponsor, because Louis Saha played for them as well with the Pizza Hut.
I don't want it. I might have got wrong, to be fair, because I was...
James, Premier League years, mate. That's how you know. Premier League years, mate. Sky Sports, that's how you know.
So he's actually a decent fullback, wasn't he?
He's good,
he was fucking quality, mate.
Yeah,
listen, he was very good going forward. I feel like people...
He's Spanish now, though.
Underrated.
He's Spanish.
Did you see Peter Crouch's interview? He said Finnan was actually really good. See, like the acrobatic goal, he scored them twice. I think Finnan...
Galatasaray.
Have I just heard that and say that right? Have I just heard that Steve Finnan's now Spanish?
No, he's vanished. He's just, I think he owns a bar in Spain, but no one hears that from him.
He said that, bro. I thought he said that. I was like, what do you mean? Is he playing in Spain? I was like,
well, he owns a bar in Spain, but what happened was he's been invited to a lot of Legends nights out to do speaks and that, and he's never turned up or any. He's just completely.
Why do you need, mate? Some people just want to have their career and just they maybe can't be bothered, to be honest. Like,
I think that's what it is.
You know. Like, live your life, and if you're smart, see if footballers, the amount of money they get paid, see if they're actually quite smart with it. They don't actually have to, some footballers, they don't have to do anything else. But it's maybe because they want that lavish lifestyle constantly, that they keep spending, and so they need to keep getting it back in. But you know what? Fair play to Finnan, because Crouch said he was actually very underrated, like his crossing was very good.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, it was very good.
In today's game, he'd probably be respected for him just for the fact he was good going forward. And he was very good defensively, of course, as well. But anyway, boys, 5-2 to Conroy. 5-2-2, should I say. Question 7. How many games did Finnan play for Liverpool? Closest to the answer gets the point.
Mate, what? That's
all competitions.
Games, all
competitions, mate. That might as well be World Cups, mate, because we're not going to get it.
Nah, Liverpool. How many games?
No, I know.
Closest to the answer gets the win. Remember, hold your answers.
Oh, I don't know how to play this one now. Oh
shit! Remember, second place, whoever it is, there's still a point to play for.
Right, I've got mine. It's just a guess, guys.
By the way, Gang and Zeep, I haven't forgot about your super chat. I've got it in my phone, so I just want you to know that, my mate. Right, so release the answers one by one. Nick, go first.
Right, so we'll change that. Wait, I've changed that.
Okay, wait.
It's fine. I wasn't changing it to that. It's fine.
Okay, Nick.
I don't know. I want to change it now.
85. No, it's not that.
Nah,
85.
Go on. Right, 85. Conroy.
I changed it from, just to let you know, I changed it from 350 to 300. That's why I changed.
Okay. And then Darren.
What's that for just Liverpool?
Just Liverpool.
290.
Okay.
See, Darren's close to me.
Can you show it as well, please, Darren? We need proof.
Yeah.
Write it down. 290 the show. Yeah, no, that's fine. You just need to do that right there.
Yeah.
So, right, all say your answers again. That took too long.
85.
Okay, go again.
300.
And
290.
Darren
290 all
gets the
comps.
point. Darren gets the point because he played 217 games for Liverpool in his tenure
17.
at Anfield. 217.
It's hard to gauge that, isn't it? It's hard to gauge. See, because Trent and Robbo play every week, all the time. They actually rack up the games so quickly. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Nah, do you know what? A lot of people guessed under 100s.
How many years was Steve Finnan with Liverpool? He was with 4,
Quite a while, mate. Quite a while, eh? But see, Trent's only played, 3 or 4, and I said Robbo's only been 3, and he's already bypassed 100, so I couldn't work out if he'd been there for a bit longer than that.
Yeah. Nah, so many people went under 100 there, mate.
Do you know Robbo's already got 5 more assists for Liverpool than John and Arisa? Fun fact today, lads. There you go.
Hey!
Brilliant.
Robbo.
Robbo's the man.
What about goals?
more Premier League assists than Ashley Cole as well.
Hey, nah, but I'll tell you this though.
No, Cole's class. I'm not going to debate that. Cole's amazing.
Oh, nah, 100%. Listen, you're just throwing out facts, mate. But nah,
Nick on the Bears,
outside
on the Bears, Nick.
Steroid goals, boys. Let's talk about. He's right. The boys are on the
Bears. I'm on the Tiger.
I was on the juice.
Lidl's Magners.
I'm on the Tiger.
Woodgate special. James is getting monetised now, doesn't matter.
Oh, yes.
Do you know what, actually? My missus works in Tesco, so she brought home last night Tiger, a load of beers, which reduced to €9.
Good,
so anyone that's in Ireland watching tonight, get the Tesco. Every little helps.
Mate, listen, that's a sponsor. Get Tesco on the phone now.
Get Tesco, every little helps.
Hey, listen, you never know.
James Redmond TV sponsor.
Just got a little phone call about might be able to sponsor the LFC talk show if they're lucky. You know what I mean? Talking about us.
Yeah.
Darren gets the point there though, so that makes it 5-3-2. So 5 with Conroy, 3 with Darren, and then 2 with Nick. Question 8. Still a lot to play for here, boys. There's still a lot to play for. Darren could be making a little late comeback here. Still possible. Question 8. How many assists did the Irishman bag in his time at Liverpool? Is it A, 14 assists? Is it B, 15 assists? Is it C, 16 assists? Or is it D, 17 assists? So 14 assists, 15 assists, 16 assists, or 17 assists?
Right, I'm going to go for... Who wants to go first? Hold them, yeah.
Right, Darren, you can go... Wait there, have we wrote them down?
We've got them, yeah.
Right, Darren, you go first.
B, 15 assists.
Okie doke. Conroy?
I went for 15 as well.
Okay, and then Nick?
15.
15, so did you all
I don't
go
even know
with
if you
B?
can see it.
Did you all go with B?
Yeah.
Boys, you all got it wrong.
Right.
So I'm going to let you go again, because you all went with the same answers, didn't you?
Yeah.
Then, so is it A, C, or D?
I would say...
Hey, someone's getting this point, mate. I'm not asked. Is it A, C, or D?
Ready?
This is just got fucking interesting.
Ready?
Right, let's go.
Yeah.
So have everyone got their answers? Right, so Nick?
A.
Okay. Darren?
C.
Okay, and Conroy.
I went for C as well.
We don't know though. Please guess.
If it's
got it right. No.
Right, well, we know it's D.
We don't see then. Yeah, we don't see. I didn't think you got that many assists now.
17 assists.
No, I didn't think that.
17 assists.
See, something in my head was saying, I'm sure, like, see, because now we look at assists all the time with fullback. Someone said that Finnan's assists are actually quite good. I remember someone saying that, but I was like, I didn't think it was 17.
Oh, mate, that's hilarious, you know.
That's classic, mate. Only on this show. Mate. That is hilarious.
Honestly, mate, I'm not even asked.
Steve Finnan.
Sorry, Steve, if you're listening, mate. Sorry, in the Spanish bar. Sorry,
mate.
Put some respect on his name, bro. Put some respect on his name.
Honestly, I think Finnan's probably one of the more underrated Premier League players of all time. He was a quality fucking right back, mate. So he deserves a shout out in this place.
Evidently,
ever fucking dently as well, getting 17 assists in that time. Don't fucking tell me no more. So closest to the answer gets this point. Question 9. Get ready, chat. How much did Liverpool sign Glenn Johnson from Portsmouth in 2009? Closest to the answer in pounds gets the point.
Oh, Nick knows I hate transfers. Nick knows it.
Body, shake your body.
I'm going to go for...
Once we finish this quiz, we're going to go back to a few topics, and then it's going to be a good show. Usually this will be at the end of the show.
He's all right for me to say?
Wait there. Have you got your answer?
Yeah, it's a guess.
I'm not. Your answers in.
I'm not good at transfers.
No changing.
No.
Right. So Nick, got your answer?
Yeah.
Go on.
8 million.
Okay. Darren.
Jeez, I think I'm way off. 20 million.
Okay, and then Conroy.
15 million.
Okay. The point, therefore, making the title race very much on, goes to Darren with 20 million. He signed from Portsmouth for £18.5 million.
I actually wrote 20 mil, right, and then I crossed out. Genuinely.
Yeah, I even said no second answer.
I actually didn't know. Now that you said it, I remember, but...
Damn!
Nice.
Mad one. So, Darren, you are slow. So, Darren, how many points are you on?
4. No?
4? Yeah, so 1, 2,
I'm on
3.
5. Darren's on 4.
4? Oh, shit. So, wait there.
Could be a draw.
Wait there. Oh, this could be a draw then. So what am I doing there? That'd be a point for both if we're going on.
Yeah, we'll just see. We'll see how it goes. Let's see how the last question goes.
We'll just see how it goes. We'll let the chat decide how many points the two winners get, if it is 2 winners. But there is still a question left. Question 10: how many caps does Trent Alexander-Arnold have for England?
Oh,
So
write it down.
It off. Closest to the answer gets it. How many caps does Trent Alexander-Arnold have for England?
Right.
I can't believe I wrote 20 mil and crossed it out.
Nick, what are you doing, Nick?
Yeah.
Nick, what are you doing, Nick? Don't be cheating, Nick.
I'm not cheating. It's only because I see once and he's on me. Once and
Yeah,
he's on
still,
me.
don't be looking at the chat. Don't be looking at the chat. Get in the private chat, mate. I see you, Nick.
So, good.
Right. You ready, boys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
ahead then. So.
Right, so I'm going for, if you can see it there, can you...
Say it out loud. 10
caps.
Okay. Conroy?
I went for 10 caps as well. 10 caps.
And then man like Nick?
I've gone 17 caps. I don't know if you can see it there.
Right. This is where it's mad. Nick never got the answer right. Conroy and Darren were the closest, and you both said the same. So,
how many did he get?
I got 6. I got 6.
In fact, actually, Conroy gets 6 because you both got it. You both got it right, basically. So yeah, Conroy gets 6.
Imagine us both getting the same answer. That's mental.
So just to round off the points tally for this quiz, week 1 of the quiz, and therefore the person who gets 3 points, a point, and 0 points. Let's go through it. So question 1, which was what year did Trent make his
sweating,
debut?
Lads. I'm sweating.
And who was it against? That's why I'm doing the quiz. That's why it's being implemented. So the first question was, what year did Trent make his debut and who was it against? It was 2016 against Spurs in the League Cup. Question 2. At just 22, Trent played a lot of first-team football, but how many games did Trent play for LFC, or has Trent played for LFC? 170 games. Conroy got that one right. Question 1, no one got that right. Question 3, which was how many assists does Trent have? Conroy got that one, so giving him 2-0 lead. Question 4, Conroy. Question 5, it was everyone got a point for that one. Then question 6, everyone got a point for that one. Question 7, Darren. Question 8, who got the one for question 8? Was it
none of us?
No one.
Steve Finnan, 17 assists.
Yeah, we were all underestimating them, weren't we?
Question 9, Darren got that one right, and question 10, it was both Conroy and Darren. So yeah, 6 for Conroy, 5 for Darren, and then how many was it for you, Nick?
2. Thanks. Cheers.
A for effort, though.
Do you know how they train
They're
one?
not
Do you know
easy.
me and Darren knew that is because we know that in any other country it'd have about 30, but because there's about 5 right backs for England,
by the way, it was 12 caps. People are asking, it was 12.
You know he doesn't play a lot. He mixes it up all the time. If that was any other country, like Andy Robertson's probably got about 50 caps for Scotland. So it's just it's funny that, isn't it?
No, it's facts. Nah, but that was a good little quiz.
Steve Finnan in his few years for Ireland, I think he made 55 or 60. So, yeah, because obviously there's not what England have in terms of luxury. But I just I thought between 10 and 15, and I was right. I'll just go over an even number. So it's a bit of luck.
Because he played back three as well, eh? He played back three as well a lot.
No, I hear you, but yeah, boys. So basically,
that was great fun.
This is how the league table will be looking after week 1. So, obviously, at the moment, it's not updated. But Conroy, that actually goes in that order as well, to be fair. Conroy will be top. As well. Conroy will be top. With 3 points. Darren will be second with 1 point. And then Nick will be staying bottom with 0 points. So, there'll be no editing needed there, which is absolutely fantastic. But yeah, boys, great quiz. I love that. I really enjoyed that. Week 1 goes to Darren. Week 1 goes to Conroy. Obviously, Darren brought a great little comeback at the end there, my mate. Just about fell short.
It was like the 97-point season. Went right to the end, but
that was close, that man. That's it. It was
like
an earlier decision.
I'm Vincent Kompany against Leicester right now.
But Conroy was very great.
Slapped in a 30-yarder.
I know. Genuinely, and Iheanacho also missed a sitter in that game. Let's not get back to it, guys. It's emotional.
Hey, boys, I've just got to shoot out and refill me drink dead quick. But before I do, I want you to answer this super chat from Gangandeep, who says, Jamez, shout out to Daz, Conroy and Saint as well. Talk about competition, because we were talking about competition earlier, obviously. We have been linked with Buendia, obviously from Norwich, Neto and Kanate. So what's your thoughts if we were to get them type of players, and are they the type of players that we should be looking for, as I'm assuming what Gangandeep's trying to say? Buendia, Neto and Kanate. So get discussion on that. Chat, let me know your thoughts as well. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
I'll be back in 2. I'm just going to grab a drink. I'll be back, alright?
We can get a start, Nick. I don't know much. What position does the fella off Norwich play?
So he's like a cam, innit?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's more of an attacking midfielder, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, I know Neto. We all would love him. He's only young. He's
Neto's a
he's flying, and he has Premier League experience. He's 2 years for 21-year-old. Very experienced, the type of player. I suppose taking the footsteps of Jota, if he came in, he'd be brilliant for us. And I think Kanate that's probably a reality now at this stage. I know when we were linked with him and there was talk of we were going to sign him, the next day I seen reports saying that it wasn't happening. I was
just about to say, was there not reports that just came out saying that it wasn't going to happen?
That it wasn't going to happen, but
now and then I've seen reports saying that he's now available for 8 million cheaper than was first predicted or something.
But Neto is one. I know Callum is a big fan from Coppish on Neto.
It makes sense, Neto, though. He's the age, it's the sell-on value. If you think about it business-wise, it's a no-brainer, really. If you spend, probably going to cost you about 50-60 million because you just got to draw off for 40. But you could, it does make sense. If Liverpool get the go-ahead, you would get Neto, because either way, he's either amazing for you or sell on, you don't lose much, or sell him on for a profit.
And he's Premier League experience for such a young lad, for 20-year-old. I mean,
he's good.
He's ready.
His trajectory is ridiculous. He seems to improve constantly. He's very, very good.
And he's played a couple of appearances for Portugal, which is really good. I think he's 3, 4, maybe 5 appearances for them for 20-year-old. He played in Serie A. I don't know if he played much though for Lazio, did he? I know Braga, but since he's came to Wolves, that's where he's really kicked off his career, and it's a good league.
What do you think, Nick? Do you rate Neto?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think, like as you say, that's a no-brainer, really, in terms of his age, in terms of his
finance-wise, business-wise,
business-wise, everything, and in terms of our need as well for cover on that side, it makes absolute sense.
FSG would look at that and say it works out for them either way. Do you know what I mean? It's not they're not really going to lose money even if it didn't work out in that one.
It's just depending on, but that would need to be money in their pocket, and it would need to be not significant, as in like super substantial, but because of the whole Wolves thing, it would have to be they're not letting him go for cheap. Do you know what I mean? So that would
but I do think we've got a good relationship with Wolves in the sense of they've looked at Ox as well in the past, and I'm not sure if they'll go for Origi again, but there's probably something Liverpool could do to reduce it.
100%. In terms of
a goodwill gesture with it as well.
He'd be great competition, wouldn't he? He'd be unbelievable to have.
Mate, he's not coming to be competition, Darren. He's not coming to be competition.
Not in the form. Not in the form that Mane's in that.
No, exactly. But I mean, I'll restate that. I mean, he'd be great in terms of keeping all the rest of the lads on their toes. The other lads would get better, but not coming into a player that's going to be on the bench, because as we just admitted, the front three are probably finished. He'd come straight into that team. But the lads would probably improve.
What I mean, sorry, Darren, I didn't mean that way, mate, you're right, but see, Jota's came in and everyone's like, can Jota do it? I think there's a lot of players in other front threes who are like, I wish I was in Liverpool's team. Maybe not this year, but last year, because of the strengths we've got. If you're an intelligent player as a wing forward, you get loads of chances. This is a bad example this season, but Jota's still got a lot. He's done a lot. And I think there's a lot of players who are very hungry like that, who are like, nah, I can get in front of you. And people will be watching Sadio Mane this season be like, nah, I can get in front of him. Especially Neto, who can play both wings and can actually play both wings, not people who say Salah. Salah can't play left wing to save himself. He's a right winger. Neto can actually play both sides because he plays left wing like a left footer, like he can actually get to the byline and cross it. What amazes
me about Jota is he's come off the bench more times than he started. He's missed 3 months of football, and he's doubled the goals that Mane has, and possibly could have had more. And it's what a season, and even is tracking back on the ball, the problems he caused, explosiveness. He has it all.
Did you speak about Buendia? Sorry, guys.
I was just about to say that. I was just going to say, literally, I do feel like Buendia would be a great Gina replacement. It's unfortunate that we'd have to go and do that, but when it's all said and done, I wouldn't be disappointed with Buendia.
Would you say Buendia plays higher up though? Because I always remember the stat, he created the most chances in the Premier League. I think 3/4 of the way, he's second or third from the top. I've always liked Buendia. I think he's an absolute superb player. If you can create that many chances with Norwich, everyone was screaming for Cantwell. I was like, Buendia I really like him. I'm not necessarily saying he's in the same levels, but for me, for the price they spoke about, I thought Arsenal were a shoo-in to get him. I don't know why they didn't sit. Buendia is brilliant. Maybe that's a shout out to Daniel Farke at Norwich. He's done a really good job at keeping that squad. He sold a few players, but he's kept the same squad. They beat Huddersfield 7-0 the other night. They look like they're flying again. Here, that's another shout for where teams have patience with managers instead of just attacking them as soon as it gets a bit tough. That Sean Dyche got relegated with Burnley, got them back up now. That's Daniel Farke as well. So maybe there's something to be said for that, guys. But I like Buendia. I just don't know how much it would cost, and if it's going to get to the 25-30s. I always thought it was more higher than Gini, but I might be wrong there. I might be wrong.
I do too. Yeah, but I think. When it came to Gini, I know I was beating the tail of Manstrom. We're not going to get him, but Basuma from Brighton as well.
A few people have mentioned him in the chat.
I wouldn't mind Basuma.
I think he's great, but I think he might cost you about 50 million, guys. If they're valuing
big money,
40 million.
And then when Liverpool come calling clubs now, they're going to fleece us, aren't they? Because they know.
I think it's TV money as well, Darren. It's TV money, mate. They know how much money teams are getting now each year.
That's true.
I can shove 20 million because I know you've got that money. It's really interesting, actually. Konate, I don't know. I remember when that news came out.
It was off. It's on 1 minute.
Is it on? Is it happening?
Who knows, man? It's.
Well, it was definitely happening. Then next of all, within a couple of hours, it wasn't. And there's nothing really being mentioned.
We spoke about it on a show a couple of weeks ago. It was one of the main topics
we were all hyping it up. I don't know. There's something exciting about me. A French centre back, 21-year-old, already good enough experience, but he hasn't internationally for France, and he's good enough experience posing Bundesliga, a good league, and in Champions League. And I think if Liverpool are scouting him, there must be something special about him. But I'm not. Yeah,
some people have worries about injury. Some people have worries about injury prone. I'll be honest.
Gerrard had that as well, didn't he?
That's what they say. A lot of people say it's maybe not necessarily injury prone. It's just at that stage where it's like not grown out of it, but in the sense of that's not going to be a long-lasting problem. But see, with that, here's just the question: why are we putting ourselves in a situation like that? Is there not a centre back out there for the same money that we know is going to be if there's anything of a guarantee. But I like
the lad
Colette
from
Car,
Marseille, Colette Car. I would have loved him in January.
You've mentioned him. You've mentioned
Nick,
him. Yeah.
take care, brother.
Take care, Nick.
Yeah.
Always good, mate.
Nick, all the best, buddy.
Have
a good one. Take care, pal.
See you, bud. Talk to you next week, mate. Take care. Have a good one.
Yeah,
Go subscribe. Go subscribe, by the way, people.
Saint LFC TV.
Saints. I think he ate the car. He would have been, if he'd have come in January, he was, I know Kabak is walking into the start 11 of Phillips, but we would have felt a lot more reassured with him, and it would have probably given us all that bit of lift we needed. He's good experience. That's the Croatian, isn't the centre back?
Yeah, and even a
from Marseille.
Botman, as James has mentioned.
Brilliant, yeah.
They must like, again, it's back to the Neto. James, we mentioned Neto is like a no-brainer in the sense of, even if it doesn't work out, it's a sell-on value. But even Konate, with his age, they might look at it as a potential financial gain in the future. However, I don't know. 40 million is quite a lot in the sense of for 21-year-olds, you're not sure of.
As well, boys? What about these players? Rodrigo to Paul, Niehaus from the Bundesliga? I don't know what you think. Like, are these suitable names? Are these suitable options?
No, they're very good players, but I feel like Gini's a weird one. Gini, for me, right, and I know this comes, people like to criticise as well, but for what Gini does for Liverpool, not what he does for Holland, is like, not the other night, he was bad at it, but he's usually very good. The closest I'd see is definitely Bissouma. Bissouma 100% can do what Gini Wijnaldum does. I'm not saying maybe it is, but I look at him and I feel like, I watched him against United. I do like Bissouma, and I feel like he'll grow as a player as well. Yeah, the only thing is, we spoke about this argument loads of times. It's cost you 5 million to keep Gini. It's going to cost you 45 million to get Bissouma.
And is it a guarantee to get Bissouma? That's what That's
no, but I think he's the closest. He's the closest, I would say, James. He's the closest, mate, because he's got Premier League experience. I'm not saying he'll be the exact same, but he's the closest.
He's young as well.
As a link.
So unless we get a pre-deal agreed, really, with Bissouma. Because that's what we'd need to do, because Gini Wijnaldum's contract will run out in and around the time the transfer window starts. So once that's run out,
then it's a bit. They'll put the price right up.
I don't like the idea of Renato Sanchez. I know he's being linked to come in with Gini.
Oh, I've never been a fan of Renato Sanchez. Never won. He's about 20 something now as well.
So I agree, guys. But I spoke to someone. Shout out to Ram. Man like Ram, he did mention that Sanchez has played well this season. You talk about it is the Lille team. Yes, he plays for the Lille team who are doing well. Yeah, he says he's had a good season. I agree though, James. I feel like the price you're getting for Sanchez, you might as well just get Bissouma, because you know he can play it in the league. You don't know Sanchez can, because maybe Swansea was a bad period in his career, but he was not very good then. So,
and then this French guy as well, is it Aurard, isn't it? Is linked from Lyon. Yeah, he's also linked. He's been linked with a couple of clubs. Arsenal,
he's not really Gini Wijnaldum, isn't he? He's more
he's offensive.
I know Gini's at 8 as well, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it's
no, but Gini offers a defensive aspect to the game that a lot of number 8s just simply don't offer. A lot of number 8s, like for example Thiago, he can get stuck in, but he mostly gets a yellow card because defending's not his game. So it's one of them things where you can talk about aggressiveness, but when we're talking about actually defending, Thiago's job is to keep the team together. Basically do a Firmino, but in the midfield, keep everything linked together, keep it ticking over, that type of thing. So when you're talking about all these different positions and whatnot, like even here, Keita swapped for Tielemans because Keita's been linked with Leicester. I know that we say that we don't like the stamina and whatnot of Tielemans and that he can't last the 90 minutes. But
I do like Tielemans, so I do like Tielemans. I do like him.
But even to segue into the Keita conversation as well, because it all links together. You've got Gini Wijnaldum, who's 29-30. He's on the verge of leaving. Then you've got Naby Keita, who is how it is with Naby Keita. Maybe some fans might want him out, but I don't think FSG or Jurgen Klopp are going to be looking at him anytime soon and saying, "Oh, you need to go, mate," because he was 50 million pounds, he was like 60 mil. So like, if that's one of your biggest assets at the club, you're going to want to keep him, and especially if Gini Wijnaldum's going out, you're not going to want to sell him. But if Gini does go, if he was to leave. We're talking about replacing Naby now. If Naby was to leave, we're talking about replacing Naby now as well, not just Gini. So you could get Bissouma or whatever the flick you want, but then would you take Tielemans as well? Yeah. Just as an option.
What if you kept Gini and sold your asset when you still can sell him for a profitable margin?
I want Gini to stay, but it's not looking like it's
going to happen. Do you not think at the end of the season, and listen, I actually was hoping it would work out for Keita, but do you think they might say, nah, it's time to sell him now because it looks like his career's only going to go one way.
I think so. See, my biggest frustration with Naby is
he's not been injured yet, mate. He's not been injured yet. So to be fair, maybe his rehab has worked. So I'm not sure.
It's his third full season, Naby Keita. He's only made over, I think, 50 appearances, and that could have been in all competitions, which isn't a lot. There's players that have made more in one season. His availability has been shocking in terms of he's had a lot of injuries. Now I know this latest muscle injury, they've taken that time and they bided time them and coming back. But my frustration is that you go back to midweek, Real, big chance for him to not cement the place in the team, but to show what he's about. And technicality is one side of your game, but attitude, discipline, and having that grit and fight and that passion. I want to love Keita, but he's not. There's nothing. He's not giving me enough to say, yeah, going forward, he's the player I want, because his availability hasn't been there. And then when he is available, he just hasn't shown it consistently enough. We've seen games, Bournemouth, Chelsea at home, games where he scored goals, looked really well, but that's a flash in the pan sort of stuff. It's just, for me, that midfielding role, it's so vital, it's so pivotal, and you need players in there that are going to be bang at it all the time. And Naby Keita, for me, huge potential, wonderful footballer, great the ball in his feet, can get goals out of nothing, and playing those Ivan Needle threat those balls through, but just not consistent enough. And then if he's playing well, he's injured, and then it's just frustrating for me.
I'm going to give him to the end of the season, Dan. I'm going to give him to the end of the season, mate.
I think he'll come back into the team tomorrow, because we've seen Jurgen done for. I honestly think he'll say, you know what, Naby, okay, the other day we're awful, but so were we all. We were fearful, we looked
could I add, he's still the only midfielder who actually dribbled past people in that game. That's the only thing I'm saying is that's what he can do. So I'm not, he was terrible, he wasn't good on night, but what I'm saying
is he can make amends tomorrow.
But if Keita does that, which he's actually been bought in to do, by the way, he's not been bought in to retain the ball, he's break presses.
Do you know that midfield that started against Real Madrid? That was the same midfield that started against Aston Villa.
I knew you were going to say that.
And do you know what?
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Just after. No, I found that out during my watch along of that game. And
but it just shows.
It was 40 minutes in when we were playing dreadful, and someone brought it up. They were like, "This was the midfield that started."
You must have been ready to switch it off at that point, mate. Like,
I was thinking, and you know, and it's mad. Someone said it in like the 40th minute, and like he then went off the pitch for Thiago. But like, it was crazy because so many weird things happened in that watch along. Like, do you know when Alisson could have got a stronger hand to the goal?
No, it should have, mate. Like, if you watched that game, it was horrendous goalkeeping.
Like, do you know, just before that though, I was saying, who's a better goalkeeper for you, Courtois or Alisson? And then he done that, and I was like, shit. And I just, but that's the danger of the.
That's a game. That's a Ty Lawson save. That's that bad.
It was a game where we badly missed Hendo, though, wasn't it? Like, that experience and that just knowing how to do it. I think so. I think that midfield,
you take Hendo too kind for players who couldn't play 3-yard passes. Like, honestly.
No.
Too kind.
Well, Genie was off it, yeah.
Don't be saying
I'm saying the Henderson thing. Like, I'm saying, like, I understand Madrid's tactics were good, right? But my point I've got is I seen a 6-yard pass on, and they couldn't play the pass. I just mean, like, I don't think Jordan Henderson will make a difference there, but that's too easy an excuse. Those players deserve to be absolutely
We would have lost that game with Henderson with the way everyone else was playing. Diogo Jota was playing shit. The midfield was playing terrible.
Mane was awful.
Talk about the replacements, but we just need to take a spade for a spade and just say that was shit, because we were terrible.
And maybe the tactics as well, James. The tactics didn't probably help the midfield, but I do think it was like players looked nervous and looked like they've never been at that level before. And I'm not just talking about the two centre backs. I thought a few players played like that. However, like,
Kabak wasn't.
Yeah,
terrible.
I know, but he still made a mistake though as well, mate. Yeah. Like, they nearly made it 3-0.
No, he did.
No, Conroy, this is where you're gonna fall into the trap. That's gonna happen.
No, I thought he was good though, Kabak. I have said that. I thought he made a mistake, but I thought he was good. But what I would say is, like, see the thing I was confused about is, right, you either press Tony Cruz and don't give him that room, and maybe there's always going to get that room, but then you don't play his higher line, and so we could get into it. I'm not going to debrief the game again, but it just felt like Keita's not been injured yet, guys, and I'm so glad Klopp came out and actually said it was tactical why we took him off. Because Jurgen Klopp isn't Mourinho in the sense of he drags players off before half time, but I was so glad he did in the sense of it isn't because I'm making decisions now. It's not about like, I love Klopp and he's a strong manager, but there's times where players he doesn't make it because he's got a good relationship. I feel like now he's getting to the stage where like Mane won't start tomorrow because he's had enough. It's like, I've gave you numerous chances now, and it's been his fault as well at times. I'm not saying that. I just feel like I think Keita might come good by the end of the season. I feel like the rehab program might have worked actually because he's not been injured, so that's maybe a good thing. It came off tactically, so if there is a positive, he's not been injured.
Yeah, that's one thing I was happy to hear about because even though he was having a terrible game, the last thing I wanted was another headline of Navigator's injured. Because then I'd be saying,
because that's it, James. If he's injured again, that's it. It's game over.
Like, serious injury. Like if it's a little niggle, then we can get away with that. But if it's just a proper like 6 weeks out, then fuck any of that bit. And someone said in the chat as well, like, oh, if Naby goes, we'll be fine because we've got Curtis. Not necessarily the case because now you're depleting the squad. James Milner is 35 years of age, going to be 36 next year. You've got Oxlade-Chamberlain, who, regardless whether you think he's still good enough,
he might play tomorrow. By the way, he might start tomorrow. Actually,
we'll go into the preview and the starting 11 prediction. But Oxlade-Chamberlain, you know, based on his position at Liverpool, most likely he's not going to get any better at the end of the day. At least in this
I'd
squad.
said with the Neto thing, James, he might even be used in that because I know Wolves were interested if Liverpool went down that route to sign from Wolves or any other team. Like so it might James be a ploy.
Yeah, exactly. And then you've got James Milner, so then you've got Ox, and he could very easily go. Yeah. You've got Curtis Jones, who obviously is the one who's going to stay. You've got Fabinho's going to stay. You've got Thiago, who even though he's 29, you're probably looking at, especially with the way he plays, 4 or 5 really good years with Thiago. Look at Modric bossing at a 35 in the Real Madrid. He's still world class.
Modric is super.
And it's because of the way he plays. Modric is
he's up there as well. Though.
Obviously up there. Oh no, I'm not taking anything away. But
no, you know, mate.
He contributes.
Not you, James, but there's definitely other Liverpool.
Sorry, mate. Conroy. Like, lad, this is the thing I want to say about Modric because he deserves my respect. Like, he's 30. How old's Modric? 36, 37.
About that.
The way he plays allows him to just spring balls, and he's playing in a great team. So keep that great team around Thiago. We've got a great midfielder there for the next 5 or 6 years because Thiago, like Modric, whether you think as much or not, he's like that up there, mate. So that's the point I wanted to make there. So when we're talking about these, you've got Henderson, Fabinho, Thiago for the next few years, Curtis, but then the other three are kind of
Fabinho.
Do you get what I mean? So I just don't know, man. I feel like it's a bit of a mad situation.
Just on that, James, what I might say, it wasn't me, mate. I was saying, see, last week I was on a few other streams and there was a few people like sleeping on Luka Modric, and I was like I know he's old, but like I was like, Tony, I don't think you understand that. See, when it actually comes to football, right? Some players, see if you're quicker there, it doesn't matter how good you are or how fitter or younger you are, you're just not going to get near them. And I was like, they were saying, I'm like, you can't sleep on this midfield. These guys have been a top level for a long time. And like Modric with Croatia, remember the World Cup? I mean, honestly, like people just sometimes, I think
he
it's
win Ballon d'Or as well, did he?
Yeah, mate, and it's like he went from the worst player at Madrid, voted the worst player in the last they've signed to the player of the year. So like James, you're 100%. I think Thiago, I've said it before, you mate, he'll come good. Just as I said, this season's a bit of a write-off in the sense of we know what's going to happen. Like even if maybe get back in the Champions League, but I just mean in general, it's been a tough one. Get through it, start fresh in the pre-season, and Thiago will look forward to that as well. But mate, I think like in general. You've got 4 midfielders there who are going to be there for the next couple of years, and it's just adding around that.
If we can get top 4 somehow, manage top 4 this season, I don't know whether you guys think it's still a chance with how the table's looking. It'd be phenomenal, I think, and it really would be when you consider all the factors, what's went against us, and then 6 home games we didn't score, we lost. That's relegation form, and still finishing the top 4. I want to be optimistic. Grealish is out by the way as well. They have been great of late. They have been great of late, though.
We'll segue into
Aston Villa. No, but I don't think they've been brilliant of late. I've seen a bit of them, and they're missing here massively.
But exactly. We've played. That's what I was going to say. We've played against Fulham, who all season haven't played great. We played against Newcastle, who all season haven't played great. Brighton, who all season have been very.
Newcastle and Sheffield United took points off. They only took 1 point against Newcastle.
Points off us as well, Darren.
Stop watching the other results, mate. Just remember, we can't beat Fulham at Anfield.
I think there'll be a response tomorrow. I'm saying that a while, but I just think with last week's
I love your
results,
optimism, Daz.
I really do.
I love your
Darren, do you think we
optimistic,
can
mate.
get top 4?
I'm 50-50 with it. If it's gonna, I think tomorrow.
None of this sitting on the fence
game.
business. Listen, if I don't want to say that because I'd never want to imagine a gun to
Well,
your head. Like, say if your life depended on it, though, my mate, yeah, you had to choose one. What would you?
If my life depended on it, I'm saying no. But I'm
Why
waiting
is
on
that
a
the
performance.
phrase we use? A gun to your head. Yes, a bit
I was
mental.
going to say like it was a bit mad way.
Why would you use that?
I'm waiting on a
It's
performance from
normalised.
Liverpool, particularly at home, where we turn up, we come out with that intensity, we come out with that passion, and we just
I
smash
love
the team.
you.
I'm
Honestly,
waiting.
mate, I want you to be my alarm. I need this optimism in the morning because see tomorrow I'm going to do a watch along and genuinely enjoy the watch along more than the game because it's going to be brutal, right?
Yeah. I hope not.
James knows it. James actually knows it. He agrees with me.
No, dude, I'm on team Conroy.
I hope not, lads.
No,
Darren,
guys,
I'll ring you before the game. I'll ring you before
Darren,
it.
you
Might
need
change
to send
it.
me like a
send me a voice
video.
message in the morning,
Just
genuinely.
send me a
mate,
video
100%.
of you like running.
Look at that smile. Look at that smile.
That's the thing, though.
No.
You could say something that you disagree with, but you're not going to be fuming because you're just going to be smiling.
I'll go for 2-0 tomorrow. 2-0 Liverpool.
Oh,
Clean
this
sheet.
right.
Get 2. 3 points.
I would be over the moon if we managed to do that.
But to touch on Jack Grealish, though, listen, even though it
He's
doesn't
out.
make all the difference, thank fuck that he's still out, though, because it's about giving yourself the best possible chance, and Jack Grealish not playing. That increases our chances of winning.
He's proved to me this season.
By himself.
He's been brilliant.
Get on this. Wait for it, because I'm thinking about it. Best English player right now this season.
Phil Foden.
I would say Grealish because I actually think Foden's probably the best young player. I would say that, but Grealish has been like I doubted him for a bit because I watched him and I was like, he's not. But then I've just watched the stuff he could improve, but he's got plenty of time to improve. And I just feel like the guy is class. Like he is class, and in a better team as well, you'll see how good he is. Some people say you need to be the main man, but I don't think he does. I feel like I think he'll be brilliant, and I would love if Liverpool signed him, but I can't see that happening.
Look at Villa last season, right? They went to the last game of the season, they stayed up, and I thought they were gone. I said, right, they're not.
They should have been, Darren, because the goal line technology didn't work, mate. So they actually should have been.
So they stayed up, they spent just under 80 million in the summer, and now this season they've been. It's a dream season for them, really, because they're up at the top end of the season. At one stage, they're in the top 4, they're challenging. Now, I don't think they're going to get top 4, probably even 5th or 6th, Villa. But what a season it's been for them, and the progress. And Jack Grealish, I agree with you, Conroy. I doubted him, but this season he's like, I remember talking to someone at Woking, a Chelsea fan, and he says, "But we're talking about signing Declan Rice and Jack Grealish, but in the Champions League, we're about Grealish. But their tone to be different now because Grealish Champions League. He's one of the best in possession, unbelievable with the ball, and he's very. Some people underestimate him."
That's what I want to say, actually, for everyone who's saying Harry Kane in the chat. Of course, statistically, Harry Kane balls, but let's just actually put it into context. About, let's put teams into context. Let's put actually ability on the ball. Like, I'm talking about on the ball as well. I don't think there's anyone in that English team that's as good on the ball as Jack Grealish.
Can I just give
Sancho's close. But
can I give a shout out to... he's not better than Grealish, but do you know what? Chelsea fans gave him a lot of criticism, and he's a wrong player. He does deserve a shout out. This guy has got a mentality. You talk about mentality. He's got a mentality. He's got a different mentality.
He's got quality as well, though, and he knows how to use it.
Yeah, but a lot of 50%, maybe out of turn, but I've seen a lot of Chelsea fans who like to criticise him, and I'm like a bit baffled by it in the sense of, I know they keep saying he's not this, like, he's not got that level to his game, but every time I see Chelsea need someone to step up, he seems to step up. So he's got a shout out.
Conroy and Darren, what do you think of this? Buy, sell, keep out of Grealish, Maddison and Mount.
Who would I buy? Grealish.
Buy, sell, keep.
I like James Maddison. I think James Maddison would suit Liverpool to a T, and I like his mentality. I like the way he talks. You talked in your video the other day, mate. You went, anyone does an interview apart from James Maddison because Maddison's honest. But do you know what? Right this season, I'd have to go with Grealish. I think Grealish. Do you not get annoyed when England fans like try to compare him to someone? Can you not just let him be what he is? The guy's like, he's next Gaza. Go and just let him be Jack Grealish because he's impressing a lot of people being like. But I guarantee he won't start for England because He's your own worst enemy. He's just never seemed to do the right things.
Well about his position is there's Maddison, there's Foden, there's
find a position for Grealish. So that's what you should do.
No, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Whether it's left wing, whether it's attacker midfield, he gets in that team because he's better than everyone else in that position. He's better than Sterling. I don't care what people want to say. Not over a long period of time.
The form is Sterling right now, mate. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like, mate, let's go off form.
Let's go off people with confidence because that's most likely what's going to win us the fucking thing. I'm not being funny. This is a player. This is a leader as well, by the way.
He's a young lad as well, though, isn't he? Grealish. We forget how young he is.
This is me, right? This is me. I will buy Jack Grealish. I would sell James Maddison, and I would keep Mason Mount, or whatever way you want to do that. Either way, what I'm trying
I would
to say
do Mount, and I like Maddison. I like Maddison suits Liverpool way.
No, Mount for me, boys, right?
Fair enough,
he
mate.
Suits anything. He's
I do like Mount. I do like Mount, mate. I do like Mount.
I know you do. You've pointed it out, and Conroy, I think I like him way more than you do because leadership as well as quality.
He's just a wee guy as well. He's just a wee guy.
Small,
but
he doesn't give a fuck. He's done well under. And this is the thing, he can play under different systems. So when we're out of form, like what we have been this season, he's still someone who's going to turn up, and that's proven. Look at Chelsea under Frank Lampard. Look at them now. Very different options. And then even look at England. Gareth Southgate, a very different style of play.
And he still gets picked. Always gets picked.
He's getting picked, and he's playing the best out of anyone. Mate, he was probably the best player over the course of that international break.
I love that, mate. I love how you're like opposition fans are actually giving Mount credit, and some Chelsea fans don't. It's mental.
I hate Chelsea, and I hate the fact he plays for them because he's so good. So Chelsea fans take that as a compliment, because at the end of the day, when people were saying they hate Mane and they hate Salah and they hate Bobby and they hate fucking Fabinho and all, they hate Van Dijk because they were that good, I loved it. And that's what they should make, because he is a gem and he's going to stay there. They don't have to worry about him going.
He'll improve it.
No. He's Chelsea true and true, isn't he?
Obviously as well, Lingard's joined the mix in that position. You can talk about what you want, but when you talk about experience, leadership, and what he's bringing in that West Ham team, because you've got to admit, Man United are fucked in the way they run things. So I'm not seeing him in a team where he's got the ability to thrive. I don't think he should be above them, but it's another option. But regardless, Grealish should start above them all.
Could I make a point for the England squad, James? Because this conversation the other day, and listen, to talk about Lingard, and that's been about 6-7 games now. If he continues that form to the end of the season, right, this might be unpopular opinion, but being a Scottish guy, I'm going to say it. England's biggest problem for the last 20 years is you never pick players when they're in form, you pick favourites. So it doesn't matter if you're a Liverpool fan, right? A manager has to pick in-form players. Lingard has to go because he's an in-form player. England's biggest problem is they don't pick in-form players. You take half-injured players or players who are just back to fitness. So England won't take Lingard because they don't do it that way, but I actually think your best chance is to pick the players in form. Harvey Barnes has scored 9 goals this season, right? 5 assists, and he got injured, unfortunately. I bet he still wouldn't have went to the Euros because it seems to be a systemic thing with England. You don't seem to pick the players who are in form, and it's like there's excuses, and it's just a lot of people seem to be against Lingard, but if he does it at the end of the season, surely he's in more form than... I know Sterling, but that's like I know Raheem Sterling's going to go, even though he's not done much. But you just know he's going to go. That's the problem.
Conroy, it's the one position I forgive. It's the one position I forgive. If Lingard didn't go, that's the one position on the field.
I just mean it. I just mean as an example, James. Not necessarily him, but there's players where they tend to just.
Do you know what it is, Conroy?
Overthink it.
I get, and this is why I struggle to support England, because they just do so much fuckery. And don't get me wrong, if Liverpool's on the same, I'd still support them because I've been brought up. I never got given a choice to support Liverpool, mate. So it's not really just one of them where you just go, yeah, man, don't want to do it no more. England's different. I don't have like Liverpool as well, mate. We don't really we can get up for England, but we're not up for England. We're not. Do you know what I mean? Especially the younger generation, because we just don't see nothing, and it's the same year in, year out. Even Gary Neville said it. Gary Neville said it on Sky Sports, and he's been in that system talking about how we want to play the 5 at the back, we want to play more defensive, we want to have it so the opposition will have more possession of the ball. I don't want that. I don't want to watch that. If Liverpool played that type of football, I'd scratch me fucking eyes out. At least when we've been playing crap, we play crap with possession, so it looks like we've got a chance. If you don't have possession, you don't have a fucking chance. The only reason why we'll have a chance in this competition upcoming is because of the players that we've actually got. And if you start the best players, it's not rocket science to how you could actually go ahead and win. Do you get what I mean? We've got some great options. And I'm saying we because if there's anyone who will want to win, it's still England. But it's hard to gravitate towards them fully and watch friendlies and be excited for them.
Do you care about international, James? And I mean this is a serious question because I know a lot of people in Liverpool particularly that there's not really much affiliation with international football with England for a lot of different reasons, of course. But do you see England as something that you'll watch the game, you'll be excited for, and you really care about the result? I'm talking about friendlies and particularly in competition, especially the last competition was 2018 where Croatia, England, like I remember seeing a lot of England really probably overhyped and we're talking about even having a parade. I know Roy Keane says that about when they win it. And it was all a bit premature and then went out against Croatia. Are you, would you be that excited? And I know you wouldn't be as excited as you would be watching Liverpool, but in general, internationally,
were you excited
honestly,
in the World Cup, James? Were you excited there, mate? Like the last World Cup?
Because that was a good World Cup from England.
I was surprised that we got to where we did, but I weren't excited through it because I thought every game, the next game we were going to go out. Oh no, the next game we're going to go out. When we went out, I thought we were going to go out. So I've never got excited for it. But I think this one is different because that one we went into it with Harry Kane taking corners. This one we're going into it with a flurry of attacking, exciting options. The only reason why I'm not excited is purely the manager. And without trying to go too much of a tangent on England, because I do want to revert it back to Liverpool, I just think with that manager, Gareth Southgate, he's going to be too negative and too anything, even poor decision making, to even contemplate on possibly challenging other teams player for player, because I think this team can do it. I'm not saying we're better than Brazil or fucking France or anything like that, but we can compete with them, man. Jack Grealish can be up there with the best players in the world. Mason Mount, he's proven it week in, week out. He can at least compete at that level.
One-off game as well, mate. It's a one-off game. This is the thing. If the best team always beat them, there would be no competition. You know what I mean?
Jack Grealish, right, plays in a very, very sound system in Aston Villa. Very sound system.
They've got a good system. They do.
A sound system. I'm not going to say good. I feel like it gets overrated because they had a good start to the season.
Well, we wanted him for the Republic. He played for Ireland at youth level, under 21s.
And you would be sound with him. Because let me tell you this now. He's a player who can just create by himself. Doesn't need world-class players around him. Doesn't need that. He's proven it.
We've a long way back, though.
To play to their strengths as well, James, there's a lot to be said for teams who don't try to be something they're not. And that helps a lot in these competitions. I've found as well with other teams who are maybe smaller nations. Like Costa Rica a couple of years ago is the best example of that. I got to the quarterfinals because
was that 2014?
Good system, played to the strength. Big shout out to Brian Ruiz, Belter. I remember that was some story of that. But you know what I mean? Teams, there's ways of doing it. You can beat necessarily better players. It's just about the right way. And maybe you're right, mate. Maybe just Southgate will be the one thing that lets you down, and it might be a case of the experience from this in the next competition. It's when you get the best out of that team.
Yeah, dead quick, Conroy. Question from Gangnam Deep. If you could get one marquee player, who would you, dead briefly, because I want to do the Aston Villa preview, who would you choose? Same for Darren.
Sorry, lads, my missus come in there. I was just saying to her, she got a big shout out with Tesco with the Tiger beer, so.
It's right. Love that. Nah, this question. So, if you, dead briefly, if you could bring in one marquee player that's realistic, I'm going to say that's realistic, who would it be?
I'll go first, but I don't think we need to sell one person to get this player, right? As I've said when you're number 9, and I'm going to stick by that, I would still say Raul Jimenez. I've said that before. That is realistic. It's not like a Haaland or Mbappe. I think that's realistic. Yeah. And I don't actually think we need to sell any player. If I did have to pick one, but I'm not saying it would be for that, but if we're going to sell anyone this summer, it would be Mane, just because of you sell Salah, you're not guaranteed to get the same output and effectiveness from another signing. Whereas I'm on the fence with that one, but that's what I'd go for the now. But I'd say you could get Jimenez without having to sell anybody, and he is realistic.
What about you, Tad?
Yeah, well, I've been saying Jimenez for a while without copying Conroy. I know we got the same in the quiz.
Fucking copying me, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, he's. But the only thing is, well, he's approaching 30, isn't he? Near enough Jimenez, or am I wrong about that?
Yeah. He's a bit 29, mate. I don't care, though. I don't care, mate.
There's talk of Rafinha, I know, off Leeds, and these all wouldn't come at a big price. We wouldn't be breaking the bank for them. Yeah, I would like to see him or Bissouma off Brighton. I think he'd be
Wilson
great.
Who Southampton? Someone said.
Man, Neto.
Wilson, yeah.
Man, be Neto. Man will fully be Neto.
Yeah,
well, if it weren't Neto,
we're all saying Wolves players, aren't we?
Shout out to Demo Dre, who says Andre Silva.
Andre Silva, yeah.
Why would you go Andre Silva over Jimenez, mate? Why would you go over Jimenez?
He's a fucking baller. He's 23.
I know he is.
He's got the same eye for goal.
He signed for Milan for 30 million and flopped at Milan for 30 million as well, Silva.
He's also 23.
No, I know. I'm just saying, mate. I like Jimenez, and I get the argument.
When he was at AC Milan, they were going through a lot of shit. To be fair,
no, I know. And is it Frankfurt now, Silva? And he's been him and what's he called? Jovic just came back as well and doing a bit. That's been hotting up, that rumor recently. And guys, I understand the Jimenez one. He's fair. I think he's quality.
You're wrong for that.
Yeah. No. Yours makes more logical sense. I get that. I just think Jimenez. You know, when you talk about when you play teams who give you a hard game, when I watch Jimenez against Liverpool, I think he's just brilliant, and I feel like I'd want that in my team.
Even like what Michael says, Jimenez and Jota link up would be
get both, mate. Amazing. Get both. We'll take that 100 million. Get that 100 million. Get both.
You'd get both for 100 million, I think. Yeah.
Aye.
I agree.
Well, he's Premier League experience as well. He's in the league now as a 2 or 3 season, Jimenez, and that's priceless. Like we've seen that with Jota. That's if you can. That's why I think Jimenez, he's a bit more experienced internationally as well, and age-wise and Premier League experience over Silva. But Silva's a good shout because he's a great goal ratio.
He's been hotting up the last couple of weeks as well.
And Patrick Staket's been hotting up.
Think about this. Silva, Harvey Elliott for the backup right wing, Salah, Mane, Firmino, and who's the other one? Neto.
Jota as well.
You forgot one. Forgetting about Jota, yeah.
All them. And take away Firmino or Mane, and then you've got all them. Like, lad, that's a serious amount of options, and that's a good
James, see, as long as we get a number 9, mate, as long as we get a number 9, mate, I'm happy, but we need a number 9. I've seen rumours about a Jota new number 9. Stop doing the FSG propaganda. Stop doing it, right?
No,
we don't need to.
I am literally on these channels because for 6 months I've been saying Liverpool need a number 9, right? We need a number 9. That's it. And do you know what, James? I'm at the point now, mate, where I'm not even fussed who it is. As long as it's someone in that category who's decent, just who's a number 9. Listen, we're going to make this work. Put square pegs in round holes. Don't want to hear it. Just get a number.
I just want to see someone. If you give them the chances that Bobby Firmino gets, they're just going to score. That's what I want, and I'm not asking for much.
And the presence in the box, James. In times as we need, when teams are sitting in, we're struggling. We need that presence. You know, that team that's going to pen our team back. And as much as I love the front three, you're not always going to get that with them, unfortunately.
If we the number 9 this season, we're sitting safely in the top 4 now. Safely,
it'd be true. It's true. Shout out to Freddie who says, lads, predictions for tomorrow. Well, boys, we've got about 5-10 more minutes on this. We'll spend the final 5-10 minutes on the preview.
Just to jump on that,
starting 11 prediction.
We'll do the results at the end, mate.
Do the results at the end, yeah.
Go on, starting 11 first. So, in goal, Alisson, of course. I'm sure that's unanimous. Left back, interested to hear if there's any shouts for Tsimikas?
Yeah, mate, for me, bud, yeah.
Really? Okay, I'm interested.
Yeah.
No, just for rest.
And why I say Milner just to rest Robbo, and because Milner was in against Arsenal, he played really well, sets that tempo, sets that professionalism, demands it as well. Obviously, he's done a job for a full season or there. The season became 4th, 17-18 season at fullback. We know he can do a good job there. I would like to see Tsimikas because we've seen very, very little of him. And now at the end of the season, we want to see something of him. But if you're looking to bring Milner to the team, I want to see, I'm just going to jump ahead here, I want to see Naby Keita play tomorrow. And I want to see Jones come back in. And I think Fabinho has to still play in that central defensive midfield role because tomorrow's a huge game. So, Milner, that left full line going for.
Here's my thing. Right, so we've got one Milner, one Tsimikas. Here's my thing about either one of them. I probably prefer Milner as well, to be fair, if I was to choose one. And here's my reasonings. It's because if you talk, before the Arsenal game, what was my energy before that Arsenal game? I was saying, mate, we're not getting top 4. I don't even want Europa League, so let's just fuck off the Premier League and this, that, and the other. I still don't think we're going to get top 4. Let me just clarify that. But the chances of us getting top 4 now compared to what it was the last time we done an LFC talk show is different levels. At the end of the day, when Chelsea lost to West Brom 5-2, that was a game changer for me. And I was just thinking, like, even though they're still very, very good and circumstances played a part, we've still saw that.
It's how they react now.
It's how they react also, and obviously then you've got the other results that went our way. There was other teams that dropped points. Leicester that dropped points against City. What I'm trying to say is, it's there now. We won our game. Like, everything went our way.
Yeah,
so
Newcastle, Spurs 2-2 as well.
Yeah, and obviously, when I was talking about that, we hadn't played Real Madrid yet. So not only now have I saw in hindsight all them results happen, but I've also saw us get battered 3-1 by Real Madrid. So the Champions League isn't looking very likely. Whether you believe or not we can win, it's not looking very likely. Because Real Madrid, not only did they beat us, but they look like the better team. And even if we improve, it still looks like they're going to be the better team. So, with all that in conclusion and in my brain, I now know that top 4 may be my best route to Champions League next season, and if that means I fall short in landing in one of them Europa League spots, then that just may have to be what it has to be. So let me go back to my point of Milner and Tsimikas. The reason why I don't know if I'd start them in this game is because I want to see how the Champions League pans out first. And until I see how that pans out, I want strongest starting 11. Robbo has not been in great form. Therefore, I actually do not mind if he was dropped. But the circumstances tell me stick with Robbo. Stick with someone who will defo play the Real Madrid game. Give them confidence going into that game, because his last game was terrible against them. Give him a game against Aston Villa where he could hopefully have a solid 7 out of 10, and then boom, we'll throw him into that Madrid game with a solid 90 minutes or solid 70 minutes even under his belt. Bring on Tsimikas, and then boom. If you want to start James Milner, sounds, but again, similar sort of things. I'm more starting Robbo for confidence and momentum above anything else. If this is next week in the Premier League, regardless of top 4, I'm sound with giving Tsimikas a run out, definitely, like 100%. But this one, in the week that we're in, the biggest week of our season, that's why I go with Robbo. Have I changed anyone's mind?
No, that's a fair point, James. I wouldn't say I'm against that. No, you're fine. It's because of the Scottish perspective. Because I've watched him play, like, for the last 5 games, I've watched him play 5 games. See, with him, he's superhuman at times. I just feel like, see against Madrid next Wednesday, exactly how you're saying, is maybe him not playing would be good for him, so he could go at that. But there's an argument to say that you want to keep that sharpness. But I feel like there's just with him, he might actually just need a break. However, I do hear what you're saying, mate. I just think he might need a break, and I'd maybe play Milner. Now you said that, just because 5 games I've watched him with Scotland and Liverpool now, and it's like, he's not like other players. I don't think he needs 5 games to get to sharpness. I feel like he can just come right back in the team. And that's why I feel like I'd maybe just give him a rest this game. I don't think, I've said 2 months ago, top 4's not happening. Liverpool cannot play consistently, right? And I agree with what you're saying, guys, there's a chance, but consistently, we have proved that we can't continuously play well in games. And you need to win a run of games to get, maybe, mate. And obviously, I'm not going to say we can't go into a game to win it, but I just, honestly, I do feel that I'm still thinking the Madrid game, and I feel like a rest would be good for him. But I hear what you're saying, mate, and I would not completely against or anything. I just feel like I've seen him play 3 other matches as well constantly, and I think a rest would be good for him.
Fair enough. Well, right back, gonna go with Trent.
It's going to be Trent. He's no competition, is it? Nico Williams isn't going to play, is he?
No. That's what I say.
Trent.
I just say let Trent play.
We're being ruthless now, James, because this is the situation now, isn't it? And it's like a right back should be able to step in, and there's so many excuses, isn't there?
How about this then? And I'm saying this not because I want him to play there. Conroy, I agree. We need a backup right back. But I know Darren obviously went with Milner at left back. How about this? Milner at right back. Yeah.
Good, mate. Yeah. I think Klopp will play Trent, because I think Klopp's very big on, if you drop him after a Madrid game, you probably put his confidence on the floor. But then again, sometimes we think too much about this. Sometimes it should be, you're a footballer, get played to do it. I understand like emotion and mental health is important. I'm not disregarding that. But sometimes it's a case of, no, you need to take a hit for this one because it's not good enough. You know, sometimes
he's not. I don't see in any way, shape or form he's going to drop Trent tomorrow. I think it's going to go.
Is that not crazy though? Is that not crazy how we think like that? Because the way the club's been ran, that there's not like a Clyne to step in, or that's right. So I'm gonna say Trent. Yeah, it will be, mate. He'll probably have a good game.
Trent as well, Darren.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, sweet. Then centre backs. I'm assuming we're all gonna go the same. Kabak and Phillips.
Yeah. Get that experience in. Don't disrupt it.
I'm not going to suggest the idea. Shout out to Coppish ahead. I'm not going to suggest that he puts Fab back in. Not going to say it.
Oh no, don't even. I thought you were going to bring up Ben Davies, and that would have been even worse.
Let's not put the Fab going back into centre back in the universe. Let's move past it. That's the two centre backs.
That's finished. Like, but even with Ben Davies, for example, who's fit, by the way, like with Ben Davies, I just think it's one of them where this isn't the week where you start Ben Davies in any of the games. Like, if you want to start him, if you want to give him minutes, look at the end of the season when we have more of a clear picture on what the season's going to pan out like. Not
I agree
when we've actually still got shit to play for, because even though it's not what we want to play for, we've still got things to play for.
Mate.
Right, so that's the back five. So Alisson in goal, left back. We went with, who did we go with? Was it Tsimikas or Milner?
Milner, I think it was two. Me and Conroy were going Milner, weren't we? Conroy goes Tsimikas.
But he changed his man to Milner, didn't you?
I would say go for Milner, because
Milner.
we played Arsenal the other day, and the last 30 minutes he put Milner there. He probably would play Milner over. However, though, I do think James is probably right on this one, though. I do think Robbo might start, but I prefer Milner.
Well, Milner left back. Right back, we went with Trent. Then centre backs, Nat Phillips and Kabak. So midfield. Right, this is where it gets interesting. We know who's playing in the six.
Yeah, Fab. That's it.
Yeah.
But then it's the
Fabulous
ones in front of him where I'm just thinking. So let me jump in on this one first, boys. You've got.
I know what you're going to say.
You've got Genie. But do you know what's mad though? I don't think you do, because I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm actually kind of just leading a trail.
It was from your video the other day. I watched the other day. That's why.
I can't remember even what I said, mate. So Genie Wijnaldum, yeah. Here's my thing, right? This is what I would... No, because I know what you're saying now. What I would like is Fabinho in the six. I'd love Curtis Jones. And then... was it Thiago who was said? Who did I say, Conroy?
Thiago.
Was it Thiago? Yeah, I was thinking it was Thiago, because I was like, I shouldn't have said Genie, because I actually wouldn't have wanted Genie. So,
no, Thiago.
I said Curtis Jones because, one, you can't start that midfield of Genie. No, I said Genie. Didn't I? No, I did. No, now I know. So this is the midfield I went with. I went with Fabinho in the six. I went with Genie. Oh yeah, Conroy looks like he's going as well. Oh no, he's back.
Yeah.
So I went with Genie. Sorry, I went with Fabinho in the six. I went with Genie in the midfield with Curtis. Now I said this because Genie obviously just played the last game, but I don't want to see Naby Keita play, because you don't want to see that combination at least anytime soon. I want to see Curtis because he's just undroppable. He's not done anything wrong all season. He'd give us an offensive spark. And also, I wouldn't mind seeing Thiago rested, just purely based on the fact I want him for the Real Madrid game. But he has just been rested. He has just been rested, so I don't mind if he does play this game. So I'm sweet with either Genie or Thiago. Maybe Thiago, because I like the partnership him and Fabinho are building. So I'm going to say Fabinho, Curtis and Thiago to conclude.
I'm going to go with Fabinho. I'm going to go with Jonesy, Curtis and Naby. And the reason why is the stats are when Jones starts plays, we get more goals, we're more attacking. He's a great thing to come out this season. He's already proven himself in there. And I'm going to go with Naby because it's last chance saloon for him. We need him. It's more or less, it's now or never between now and the end of the season. And I don't think it'd be good to just take him out after what happened in Madrid. He was hooked off before. The Klopp came out, was tactical, probably just because it was a bad performance. And he would have checked in with him. He would have reassured him. I think they would have had a good chat. A lot would have happened behind the scenes. And he comes into tomorrow, and I think he puts in a better performance. I think he actually played last year when we won 2-0. Mane and Jones scored in the restart, and Naby played really well in that. So that's my midfield: Fabinho, Jones, Naby.
Okay, and then Conroy.
I would agree, guys. I think Jones has to play. I know, James, in your videos previously, we've both been on the same page thinking the guy's done nothing wrong, yet he's been the person who's missed the most games, maybe circumstances. But yeah, it is mad. So I'd say Jones, Fabinho. Probably Keita, to be honest. Probably will be Keita. I would maybe argue Thiago, but I think he'll play.
And by the way, me and Conroy didn't text each other before this game to agree on a lot of stuff.
No.
By the way, just to let you know.
You're making good points, boys.
No, yeah.
But on the point that the comment said there is an argument that we could change the 4-2-3-1. However, Well, if he's going to do it against Madrid, he might try it out tomorrow. But I can't see it happening.
No.
Don't like that. Don't want it to
Fair
happen.
shout, mate. Fair shout. I just can't see it happening.
It is a good shout.
I think it makes it more stale. I'm not going to lie to you. It gets an extra...
It sounds good, mate. And you see it looks amazing, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
It's mad. I remember we played Sheffield. I think it was the first time we played this formation. It was Sheffield at Anfield earlier on this season. Mate, it was just proper bored.
Just about won that
game, but just about though, exactly.
Do you remember the West Ham game when we done like a diamond and we won 3-0 and everyone was like 3-1 and it was amazing? But actually, see when you watch the game back, the diamond didn't actually work that well. It was individual moments that got us ahead, and then we scored on the break.
Yeah.
Funny that.
Is there a shout for Milner and Oxlade-Chamberlain in this game? In the midfield?
Definitely shout for Ox.
You said Milner at left back, didn't you?
Left back, yeah. Shout for Ox, mate. Yeah,
it's a shout for Ox
because he played well when he came on against Wolves. So by that, I feel like Klopp has maybe got him in the back of his mind. So possibly, mate.
I think Oxlade-Chamberlain and Keita are more likely to start than Curtis Jones. Which I think
that's ridiculous, the way, mate.
I think that's the case.
Well, I think on that point, I think where we stand with Curtis is he's had such a good season. He's already proven this is what you can do, how young he is, because it's kind of like a trial period for Naby, for Ox, some of these players where we're a little bit uncertain. We're going to a transfer market knowing we need to offload a few players, and Klopp is thinking, right, I don't need to gamble with Curtis because he's long term. I know he's longevity here, but with Naby, with Ox, with Shaqiri, some of these players, and then obviously Thiago needs the experience and needs to come in because he's missed so much for us at the start of the season. He's thinking, okay, I'm going to give these, and that's what I think is thinking is behind. I genuinely do, but who am I?
That's the way I think of it, when I round up everything. Who the fuck am I to say anything? Now you're fucking Daz TV.
No, I think so though.
Subscribe to Daz TV, link in
for
the
a bit of
description.
positivity, subscribe. Yeah.
Innit, for a bit of positivity. By the way, before we carry on, how many subs are you on, Daz? Let's have a little check. Right, and then we're going to look at Conroy's as well. Right, so first off, Darren. People, come on, we can get that 7 subscribers to get 200. Right. We can get that. We can get that. And let's have a look at Conroy. Conroy is on.
Oh, I'm still a bit away from it, lads. I wouldn't worry about it tonight.
No, we won't worry about 200, but let's get Conroy up as well. Come on, boys. Link in the description. 148 subscribers. You can see I'm subscribed to both. So make sure you go and do your... But
funny if he wasn't. Well, funny if James wasn't. Get rid of his journey, man.
Subscribe.
I'll be a proper ass. I hope I subscribe to Darren. Nah, I do subscribe to Darren, and I never just clicked on that then, just so you know.
Boom, you commented on it yesterday,
yeah.
Fair play to
you. Obviously, lads, standard.
Comments are flying in, actually.
He doesn't need to subscribe to comment, mate. He could just do that.
Show us what I know.
I could have just done it then, but anyway, people go subscribe to them. Really would mean a lot. But anyway, so the midfield, Fabinho, Curtis, we all agreed with, and then you both said Naby, didn't you?
Yeah.
Who did you say, James? Because I cut out then.
Thiago.
Probably will be that though. Yeah. It's hard one to predict.
The fuck do I know? Yeah. The fuck do I know?
It just depends. Is he going to go for like the same team he's going to? Like, you know what you said, James? Like play the same team he's going to play against Madrid. That'll be interesting to see.
I don't think it'll be all the same. I think it's more so the players who were really poor, which was mostly everyone, but really, really poor against Real Madrid. He might think about playing them. So I understand the Naby shout as well. But I'd love friggin' oh, and also fucking hell out there, we subscribe to Saint LFC TV as well. Yeah, I think that could be the midfield. So Fabinho, Curtis and Naby is what we agreed with unanimously. So then front three, it's no debate, boys, for me. It's Jota, it's Bobby, it's Salah.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. I do agree. That's what I would have went with. Salah right, Bobby middle, Jota left, yeah.
Jota can't be dropped. Mane, in my opinion, has to be dropped. Bobby has been fit for a good week or so now, so give him a start and then decide whatever you want to do against Real Madrid. But give him a start. Bring on Mane maybe half an hour to go and then let Salah start as well.
For a couple of weeks, James, I've been saying it's a case of Salah, Jota start and then the other two fight for a place. Still the same, and I think Bobby deserves more a chance because Mane's form speaks for itself recently. So yes, no question.
Dire would not be the right adjective for that form. I'll tell
you exactly, mate.
We agreeing on that though, boys? Yeah, Bob.
Yeah,
Jota.
Yeah, absolutely.
Score predictions before we round up.
Well, I said 2-0, so I can't say something different than this channel, can I? No, I think 2-0. Palace will draw against Chelsea, West Ham and Leicester will be a draw, and Spurs will beat United. You heard it here first. That's being optimistic, by the way. 2-0. Kabak and Phillips, composed, compact again. Gives us a bit of momentum, which is going to be big on to Madrid, a bit of confidence and belief, and we'll walk on with hope in our heart. And 2-0 tomorrow, absolutely. I'm going to go for it. I stick with it. If that, I can't go against me gut, can I?
By the way, boys, just a late shout from Jamie. I don't know if you want to entertain
James, why not Shaq?
Maybe not a bad shout, Jamie, mate. You know,
I'm not saying that's what I do, but I mean, listen, for the front three or maybe the midfield, it's a shout. We never mentioned them at all. Some people have been bringing up Origi for the Real Madrid game. We're going to talk about the Real Madrid game after the Aston Villa game in the next LFC talk show. But, you know, Shaqiri is another one to entertain as well, and just to think of. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But 2-0 for Darren. What are you saying, Conroy?
I'm going for 1-0 Salah.
Okay.
Tomorrow. Liverpool don't score many goals, guys. Don't score many goals.
Just give me 1-0.
I feel like the best I can hope for Liverpool at Anfield in the current form is don't concede. And then we somehow take one of the chances that, to be honest, I've not seen us create much at Anfield recently because any of the results in a home leg has been at the stadium against Leipzig. So, if I do get a chance, I don't think it'll be loads of... I'd say 1-0. I'd go 1-0 Salah. I might be wrong. The game might be open like other games have been recently. But us at Anfield, I don't know if it's psychological now. I hope that's not there. So I'm hoping 1-0.
If we're going for goal scorers, I'm saying Milner, Peno and Jota. Diogo goal, Jota.
Yeah, Milner, Pen, man. Darren's going
Milner, Pen.
That's what I like.
Mate, that's a guarantee. You get a Pen, Milner scores. That's it.
Yeah, left full.
That's the thing. Milner cannot start for 50 games, and then once he plays, if you get a penalty, he's taking that penalty over anyone.
How many goals has Milner scored for Liverpool? That would be a great...
I think he's only missed one penalty.
Against Southampton,
Milner should have been in the quiz. How dare I?
Yeah.
He's a fullback as well.
That's a good question, Conroy. I don't know how many. I'd be really guessing that.
He once got a fun fact. He once got the most Champions League. I think they break the record for the many Champions League assists in a season, or he got the most that year when we got.
No, he got the most in Kiev. Yeah.
Also, every game that he's scored in, he's never lost.
What a player!
Listen,
what a player!
James Milner,
over 560 Premier League appearances as well. Some going.
James Milner is the fucking goat, mate. Nah, I'm gonna say 2-1. I was a bitch on my video yesterday. I said 1-1 because I've got no reason to believe we're gonna win, but I'm just gonna say 2-1. Fuck no, fuck it. I'm gonna go 1-0. We're more likely to win 1-0 than 2-1. Conroy, you were spot on, mate. We don't score goals. We don't score goals. So, like, if why am I always going with 2-1s and 3-2s? We don't score goals. Like, it's just common sense. And he is now telling me, James, stop being a tit and just start using your brain cells. Do you know what I mean?
Aston Villa hit the post in the last minute and we won 1-0. That's how I see it going. But I'll take that, mate. I'll take that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, but boys, we're going to round up there. Shout out to everyone who obviously joins in the LFC talk show. Is there anything that you just want to say before we do wrap up and before we do say to that? I'm obviously going to get the outro as the intro, but like for the outro as well. So for the people who missed the intro, you're gonna get to see what the new intro is gonna be. But boys, anything to say before we go?
No, I'm good, mate. That was just shout out the comments again. Class as always.
Of course, man. They're always
honestly, best Friday night. Honestly, none better to do. Amazing Friday night show. Love it, guys. So just class as always. So just cheers to everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, made the Friday absolutely brilliant. Ends on a great note. Gentlemen as always, lads, and remember to like and subscribe obviously to James, Conroy, myself for more optimism and positivity, and
That's the thing. If you want to smile, subscribe to Darren. If you want,
realism. You want realism.
You want realism.
Don't go for realism. No. Don't go for realism.
No. Darren is realistic, but he's optimistic. I'm more just the guy. I'm monotone Mike. Monotone Mike who just tells you like, nah, mate, it's not happening today.
I'd like to look at the glass more half full than half empty, and I'd like to look at we'll be on it this time next week.
I do have emotive moments. I'm emotional sometimes. But it's just, I think this season it's a bit like Jamez a couple of weeks ago. It was enough for me to just fuck this. I'm on this train now. It's not happening.
Nah, facts though. Another great show though, lads. Let's say goodbye to the people before we do go. DJC, shout out to yourself, brother. Thunder 4, shout out to yourself, Soheb. DJC once more. Battle Kid 619. Michael, he's been commenting loads in the stream. Shout out to yourself, Michael. We really appreciate it. Fergie, son, another legend. Soheb once more, of course. Shout out to everyone, man. We love you all dearly. It's been a pleasure. And make sure that you have a good day, people. Have a belter, and we will see you all next time. Peace out and subscribe to the boys.
Right.